This is your overlord speaking, telling you to go over to dragonbags.com right now and get the best bags in the business. Drop code BIGASP12, because we're amazing and we will save you money. Yes, we're the overlords, not Big Asp. So yeah, go over to Draggin Bags and pick that stuff up today. Again, code BIGASP12 at checkout will get you the best heat in the business.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the host you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. With Sean is prime.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What an intro, man.
How about that?
Wow.
Just
The
switching
Overlord
it up,
made,
bro.
made an appearance. That was great.
How about
Well,
that
welcome back
voice
to
changer?
the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always.
Hey,
what's going on, man?
Hey, same old, same old. Just got a little NBA action on the background. So
Yeah.
still just hurts that the Cavs aren't still playing, but
Yeah.
we'll live.
Yeah.
We'll live.
Yeah,
All
so
right?
kind of like a hodgepodge of like an episode, like a little bit of everything.
A
We're gonna-
menagerie, if
yeah,
you will.
so but before we get into anything else, Dane, let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in our favorite segment called What You Drinking.
What you drinking?
Well, I am sipping on another fantastic Southern Tier beer, 2X Juice Jolt. It's delicious.
Sure
Get
is.
yourself some.
Sure is.
Yeah, part of a crazy 2X pack that they drop. Every beer in its dynamite. These are just the last ones in there. So
We had a 2-hour interview yesterday, so if you
Yes.
could only see the table in front of us,
yeah,
then you
there's
would see
plenty
all the
of
stuff
empty
that
beer cans here.
we were drinking yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with water and caffeine for right now.
Hey,
so.
nothing wrong with that. I have water too.
Yep.
So stay hydrated, folks.
Yep. So obviously we have more audio gold planned for you this week. We're going to recap the results of the signature number 3 out in Colorado this past weekend. We have dramatic readings, just some random stuff that's kind of come up that we're going to talk about. And and then we are going to be joined by the current women's doubles national team champs, I guess, right? Signature champs.
Yeah, of the ACL World Galaxy.
Yes, correct. Miranda Coy and Lori Dool.
Hell yeah.
And it was an awesome interview. We had a good time. It's a long interview, so this is gonna be a long episode.
Yeah, it's nice because they're very insightful. They've been around the game for a while. They're a pleasure to talk to. So
yeah. So
always
if
a
you
good
have
one.
a long commute and you just like hearing our voices, buckle up because this is gonna be. I have a feeling this is gonna be a very long episode this week. So we had talked about splitting it up, but we're like, you know what? Let's just put out one long. We haven't put out like a
Just,
real long one.
Yeah, we'll just lay it out there for the folks. Let's
just
see who takes
pump
the
it out.
nibble.
So,
Why not?
But before we get into all that, we're gonna let you know what's going on in our lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
So once again, it's like the weekend was here and then gone.
Yep,
It was
snip
just
snap. It's that
crazy.
time of year, man.
So what did you do this weekend?
Just on, let's see, Saturday night was going to kick it with Bryn out at her birthday bash at Hofbrauhaus.
Yep.
So our cousin came in town to celebrate with her friends, and we got an invite to go hang out with young folks.
Still cool.
We are still cool, and Hofbrauhaus is always just a good time.
Oh yeah.
Great beers, and just has an innate ability to just make you drink.
Oh,
Sean, you were able to get in and out in like an hour, which I don't know how that's humanly possible.
The only reason was because we had a 7 a.m. tea time the next day, and
Suck it up, man. Just get up and get out and golf.
I just been out like a lot, and I just I was just super tired. So
yeah.
I know.
World's smallest fiddle.
Believe me, I know. I get it. I also had to drive because the closest Uber for me that night was like 25 minutes. It only takes 25 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get there. I didn't want to be out that late. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to drive. And then I'll have a beer and then I'll just, I'll see how everything's going. And then once mom and dad were leaving, I'm like, this is a great opportunity to kind of slide out with them.
Perfect
you know what I mean?
chance.
Like, yeah. So yeah, I was there for like an hour, but got to see Brain and her friends and stuff like that. And I
Yeah,
seen
it
a lot
was
of them.
a lot of fun.
Yep.
Can't complain. Then Sunday golf.
Yeah, Sunday
bright and
golf,
early,
man.
Valley Air.
Dude, my new home course, I think.
Yeah,
man.
I always forget about it.
Dude, it's so
It is a
close,
great
too.
course. Yeah.
I can't believe I've never played there before.
Well, that was your first time ever?
I've never played there before.
I feel like I played there with Bumpa though.
I have
back in the
never.
day.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never played there.
So yeah, I mean it's a great course. Short, fairly open, but man, that rough is an absolute.
See, I kind of
bitch.
disagree. Like it was relatively open, but like narrow, like lanes you had to hit through to get
Yeah.
to the fairway. Once you got through the lane, it was open.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a whole lot of room to like aim like way left or like if
No.
you slice the shit out of the ball, you had to hit the ball relatively straight.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a relatively short course. I mean, how do you think you played like relatively like overall?
I mean, overall, it was okay. Like struggled with the driver until I switched to the old driver, and then I was hitting much better off the tee. Iron striking was pretty damn good. My long irons right now are just absolutely on point, which
They are.
is like something that I haven't had in a long
I
time.
mean, I noticed you were just teeing off with that at the end.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of like tighter holes that I also thought if I hit driver, I was going to carry it into water and
Yeah.
stuff. So I just played it smart, and I knew that shorter course, if I rip a three iron off it, I only had like 140 in still. So I just kind of chose to go that route with it, and it paid off. All those holes I ended up parring when I was just playing it safe, and then. Just like I know that I need to get some serious practice time, like around the greens and stuff. Like I'm missing a lot of easy strokes around there, which has just kind of been my MO the last like 2 seasons. Like my practice is just getting out to play around because I just get overly excited. I don't want to go
It's hard.
practice. I just want to go play and like
I get it.
have fun. So yeah, I just need to like put in a little bit of work around the
Even
greens.
just putting
and
down
figure it
here.
out. Yeah. I mean, I gotta get something figured out and
I was pleasantly first of all, we played with our buddy Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
who I grew up playing baseball with for like 15 years or something
yeah,
like that.
he's
So it
welcome
was-
back anytime.
Yeah, awesome. It was great to play with him. He fit right in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now he said that was one of his best rounds like of the year.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so he said you played very well. But it was fun. Like I thought I either played great or else terrible. I could not, and it's so frustrating because all season I've been the one club I could kind of rely on all year was my driver.
Yeah.
I was constantly putting myself in play, and that's why I was scoring decent. But my irons, I was still kind of figuring it out. Well, now I've finally figured out irons, like in my wedges and my short game, everything, but I could not get off the fucking tee. It was driving me crazy. I was constantly in trouble, having to punch out and then straight. Now I made some crazy
I
par
was gonna say,
saves.
your
Like
recoveries
some of my
were
up and downs
off the chain.
I mean, there was one shot I had. It was like 135 yards out. I was under a tree, and I had to keep it low. And there was like this little tuft of rough, and we'll get to that in a second, right in front of the green. And I told Kevin, I'm like, I'm gonna try to hit a line, like a little low line drive, and if I can carry it to that rough, I think it's gonna slow the ball down enough where hopefully it'll like just release onto the green.
Yeah.
I put it within like 2 feet. You know, with tap in par. I mean, I had no business parring that hole.
Yeah, but
I
hey,
shanked it off the.
All it takes is one good shot.
It really does, and that's what I love about the game, and it's
Yeah.
fun when your short game is good because I could have very easily scored mid 90s like yesterday, but I one putted I think 10 holes. Like I was putting very very well, and that's just something that I've been practicing. But now, like before we go to, I just need to get my driver back online because everything else finally feels good.
Yeah.
If I can just feel confident again going up to the tee, and every other time I'd always feel like I was fine. We went to the simulator the other day. I was hitting it fine.
Yeah, for me, I always have the back pocket of like, even if my driver's not there, I know I can just stripe a 3-wood. So
I think I need to go back to
doesn't really
drawing the
bother
ball
me.
off the tee. I think I was more accurate when I was hitting a draw, like comfortably, like a
yeah, and
high
I think
draw.
you were consistently hitting the ball like harder and further.
Correct. And like I've been trying to fade the ball a lot, and I just am when I'm hitting it well, it's nice. Like I know how far it's going to go, and I can but I just don't feel like I'm super accurate, and I don't like having to line up that far
Yeah.
left.
No, I get that. I totally get that.
But yeah, I was happy with how I played. If I could just eliminate double bogeys, I would have. I mean, I had a chance to break 80, but
Yeah, I mean, I had mine's always in chunks is my issue.
Mhm.
Like I started off a little rough, but it really wasn't that bad, and then parred out like the last 5 holes.
Yeah.
And then 10 comes around, I triple bogey, double bogey, and then I had another string of pars, and then I finished off like bogey, bogey, bogey.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's always just runs for me of like good golf and then just drops off.
Is that
the cliff.
mental? Is it like you lose focus?
No, I think it's like it's more just like compounding. Like I have like the
you're due for a bad shot.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
law
so
of
the one.
averages
Yeah.
kind of
So
thing,
like hole number 10, like stop at the clubhouse, grab a drink, you like relax a little bit, and then you step up to that tee, and I shanked the shot. And then my next shot, I actually put a good like 3-wood to recover, and then I like flubbed a chip, and then like next thing you know, you're like chipping up, and then 2-putting, like it just adds up really quick. And yeah, it's like all of a sudden I like snap out. I mean, it's a little mental for sure, because they like snap out of it, and you're like, oh shit, that was a fucking triple. Like,
I'm just learning too that if you have a bad score early, it doesn't mean anything. Like there's so many holes left. You know what I mean? Like to go back.
I'm very much like if I'm struggling, I just like to sit quietly and just not think about golf for
I just know not to talk to
10,
you.
15. Well, honestly, like for me, that's just not like, I'm not like stewing about my game.
Yeah.
I'm literally just not thinking about golf. I'm like just trying to think about anything else, just sit there and take my mind off it, and then just like come back to the next shot and like move on from it.
For sure. We had so that was Sunday morning. Before we move on for golf though, this course was beautiful, and it had it was shorter, but you had to hit the fairways, because if you didn't, your ball was gone.
Dude, it was
in the rough,
disappearing.
It was some of the like thickest, like the ball would just get swallowed by the rough. Now you could swing through it, like it was fine. Like you just had to make sure you hit ball first. But man, the ball would just sit gone. It took us 4 hours to play 18 holes, and we were the first tee time.
Yeah, and it's because we were searching for golf balls.
We couldn't find the fucking balls.
Now, at the same time, there's a twosome behind us that never caught us.
No, I mean, again, because everyone has the same issue.
Yeah.
And when we made the turn, the guy asked me, how's the course playing? I'm like, dude, it's a beautiful course. Really like it. But he's like, how is the rough? I'm like, it's thick. And he's like, too thick? I'm like, no, because you can play out of it.
Yeah.
But like you lose the fucking golf ball. Like you had to really be on top of your game.
Mm-hmm.
And there'd be times where we're standing right on top of it, we don't see it.
Yeah. Like it would just be like covered in just enough that like you could not see it. So,
But
yeah,
that was
like,
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And then Sunday afternoon, evening, I had my daughter's dance recital.
You did.
So she had 2 dances. She did a ballet dance, and then there was like a music theater.
You're letting her
type
belly dance, Sean?
And then and then just then back to work before we know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And t-ball and softball thrown in there, and
Well, I got back from golf and did my entire backyard. I mowed it and did all the edging, weed whacked.
Yeah, you did.
Pulled all the weeds out of like my patio.
I think that's
area
my
and
least
shit.
favorite like outdoor activity is weeding.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I hate it too. I mean,
I
most of
don't.
the time
I'll
I'm
cut the
just like,
grass. I'll do anything else, but like that.
I mean,
I'll
you better
do.
believe that a lot of that was just like Roundup, like putting that down.
I get that. Yeah.
But then like had the dandelion spray, so put that on the front and back. Changed all my lights back there on the fence, so now I have like
Nice.
really good lights that I only need 2 of them to like illuminate the whole backyard to see the dogs.
Like cornhole.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right.
Yeah, they're legit now. Yeah, and then I mean that I literally got home like mowed the lawn starting at 12:30. I wasn't back inside until 5:45. Just doing yard work, and then came in. Amy showed up back home like half hour later, and then just like chilled out.
Yeah, the dance recital was 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
so
I
that
mean-
was fun.
I mean,
Long.
again, I would have been there had we not originally planned
Hey,
on
can we
going to the
talk for
lake.
just
but
a second how uncomfortable it can be to have to sit there?
I didn't know if you wanted to go there. Or not.
other kids dance to like there were like 9-year-old like hip hop kids, like girls out there dancing to like Get Low and stuff. Like it's just fucking weird.
It is weird.
Like the whole
agree.
dance culture is super weird, and I'm like, I get it, like it's whatever, but like it's just super uncomfortable to watch. Like,
It's
where am I
dance.
supposed to look? Am I
Don't
supposed to?
sexualize it. Be like, what do you like? That's what dancing is.
Yeah, like and people are going nuts, like going crazy, and I'm like, this is weird. Like it's just okay
Yeah, it's I'm there with you. It is just very awkward.
for sure.
Like I mentioned, like when you brought that up, I was like, yeah, like I remember Kids Bop had Lollipop from Lil Wayne on one of their albums. It's like, dude, like don't like that's not the right demographic here. Like it's the same thing with the dancing. It's just
doesn't mean
freaking
what
weird,
you think it
man.
means.
Yeah, it's just weird.
All right.
Like
Anyways,
hearing like 12-year-old girls thinking like a lollipop. Like, oh god, no.
So I was scrolling on Facebook the other day, and I just happened to see like a random like ad pop up, and I saw it was like BG bags that were being sold.
Yeah.
And I saw it like it was I think the series of the bag was like Calypso or something like that. And I'd never heard of it before. I'm like, that's weird. And I went to so I followed the website, right?
Mhm.
Just being a loser like I am. Followed the website, kind of went through all that stuff. And then started going. I went to the ACL like the bag manufacturer list because there are some series of bags. And while I was on the website, I saw like All Cornhole had some bags on there, and they had two of the. I think it was one or two of the series that All Cornhole had on there that I hadn't heard of before.
Feel like Rec stamped or something?
No, they were Pro Stamp.
Pro Stamp?
Like Pro
Okay.
Stamp. So I went to the ACL bag list, pulled it up, and they had it. Like it was on there for All Cornhole. It was under there, but the BG one wasn't listed. I'm sure it was just oversight.
Mhm.
But my thing is like the company that I was looking through. Let me see if I think I wrote it all down. Yeah, it was so basically it was like through Victory Tailgate, right?
Okay.
Victory Tailgate falls under this umbrella of this larger company called Escalade Incorporated. Apparently they're like a huge company. They're like the biggest like backyard game distributor. Like they've been on like they've been on the stock market for like over 50 years. They're a very well established company. They have like other companies like Escalade Sports, Victory Tailgate, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the ACL has some sort of partnership with them because it seems like there are other sporting good companies that all fall under that umbrella
Victory
cell.
Tailgate what Stacy owned?
I don't remember what it was called. I don't think it was called Victory necessarily, but it could have been. That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was, but
So my question is, if you're an ACL like bag maker, does everyone get the option to try to sell the bags through like
yeah, it's like a
the
third
big
party like
yeah,
that.
a big, or is it just like the ACL is?
Well, I mean, that could have just been a separately inked deal outside of it. I mean, even if state, let's say hypothetically Stacy does own that, it can be a completely separate entity.
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering if a company like Draggin Bags, like, do they get offered like, hey, like we have this opportunity to put ACL stamped bags on this website. Would you like that option? If you're a smaller operation, you might not want that only because you might not be able to keep up with the demands of a website like that large.
Mhm.
I would just be interested to know if it was at least offered, or if it was only like,
Yeah, I mean, that's a good
ACL,
question.
like you have to be like in the good graces. Now, what I'm interested in now that Rich Chamness is apparently out of All Cornhole side of things,
Yeah.
does that mean that BG bags won't be sold like on these websites anymore? You know, will it only be All Cornhole and like ACL, like ACL has Pro Stamped bags, like the like just ACL. I can't remember what they're called. Like it's a terrible name.
Synergy Touring Pro.
I know, something like that. Did I write it down? Yeah, it was the Hornet.
Oh,
It was a comp stand bag, and the Afterburner, which was also a comp
we
stand
didn't
bag.
add them in on our Battle of the
We
Bags.
did not. I know, they're probably pissed. But yeah, it was BG was the Calypso Pro and the Raiden Pro were the I think they were the All Cornhole bags. So, but yeah, I randomly just stumbled across it. I was just kind of thinking out loud. So
It's definitely interesting.
all right, so this past weekend we had the signature number 3,
We did.
and I have to say that this was probably by far the best
Dude,
we've had so far.
It was the who's who.
Yeah, it was just
of
like all
cornhole.
the studs.
Yeah.
Kind of. It seemed
was,
like
it was
yeah.
great.
So it was awesome. All 4 brackets were kind of loaded. All the final matches were were good. Like the broadcast
this
was really
is
fun
what
to
we
watch.
expect when it's not round limited.
Yeah.
Like we see the cream rise
It's a
to
grind.
the top
I mean, it's a
little bit.
long. It was like
Yeah.
4-hour broadcast.
Yeah,
It was a
super long.
but it was fun. I mean, every match like was kind of it was exciting to watch. Like it
Yeah.
had some element into it. So
For sure. No, I mean, it was to me, I think it was the best one today just for the viewer. I would say. I mean, it's a lot of big shots, big names, and a little bit of drama. So I think it all like kind of comes together. It's perfect.
All right, so let's start off with women's doubles.
Of course.
Women's
it's only
doubles.
natural.
In the finals, you have Lori Dool, Miranda Coy going against Cheyenne Bubenheim,
Gina Ramirez.
and Gina Ramirez. So you have it was Bubenheim was thrown against Coy, and then Dool was thrown against Ramirez. And it was kind of a back and forth match for the most part.
A little
It was
bit,
pretty even. Towards the end of the match, Bubenheim and Ramirez started to click a little bit, and they started to pull ahead a little bit. I think the score at the time was like 18-13.
Something like that, yeah.
Ramirez and Dool get the bags back, and Gina throws her first bag short. Second bag goes in. Third bag goes long.
Yeah.
Fourth bag she had to try to shoot an airmail, and she misses.
Mhm.
So she has 3. Dool has an opportunity with a bag. We'll call it like a level 2 block. If she pushes it in,
Yeah.
right, she gets 9 points. They're sitting at 13. They get the win, right? So Lori Dool clutches up. She hits the shot, which, I mean, honestly, like, it wasn't the easiest shot.
No, it's a hell of a push, man.
I mean, it's a pro level shot, like,
Yeah.
right? Like, you would expect a pro to hit that shot. It was a good shot, but it wasn't like an easy push shot necessarily. She clutched up. She hit it. They end up winning. There were certain moments, because if you don't remember, at Worlds last year, there was a little bit of like animosity between Lori Dool, Cheyenne Bubenheim, Miranda Coy. If you remember in that match before they played, Bubenheim called an official over for that match. Dool didn't like it. They ended up losing that match, and then some words were said afterwards. You'll hear a whole lot about this in the interview later.
Yeah.
But there was some level of, it seemed like, vindication. You know what I mean? That they were able to win
Absolutely.
one over
I mean,
that.
and also
so.
you're beating
the best.
V1A, like
the
player
the Gotress.
Yeah, the
You know what I
Gotress.
mean? Like
The Gotus.
the Gotus. Yes. So so hats off. You want to scroll down to the rest of the
I can.
Thanks, man.
Scroll.
Keep going.
Okay.
Go to women's doubles.
Oh, okay. We're going down there. Here we go.
All right, so in third place you had Dela Cruz and Dia Lee and Riley Schaff and Caitlin Allshouse, who that's another tough team. Riley Schaff's been throwing really well. We know Caitlin Allshouse is coming off of a signature number 2 where she won women's singles, playing really, really well.
No, they said no. De La Cruz, that's my cup.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, she's just honoring her heritage, but a hell of a team there with Dia Lee. I'm expecting them to win one before the end of this thing.
For sure.
Just going to put my name on that.
Yeah.
But Schaff has been thrown out of her mind.
Yeah, and she's gotten better every season.
Yeah, so like I really liked this all the finals for the women's for sure.
For sure. Sticking under women's, you want to go, is there women's singles somewhere?
I don't believe.
Is there not women's singles? I thought there was.
There it is. There it is.
That's right. Sarah Cassidy takes down Caitlin Allshouse in the finals. Third place overall was Riley Schaff and Rosie Streaker. Second in the bracket was Cameron Belvin and Miranda Coy, Cheyenne Bubenheim, and Samantha Finley. So, I mean, again, like, just you expect to see Cheyenne's name a little bit higher, but, you know, it just happens. You know, Cassidy is either locked in or she's just not very good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's shown before, like when she cut one, she can go to an event and win singles and doubles. She's done it before in the past. So it's just which Cassidy are you going to get on a given day? And if she's feeling it, then she's really tough to beat.
True. I was trying to see who maybe knocked out Cheyenne.
I think it was Cassidy.
Was it Cassidy?
Yeah, I believe so.
This is the one right here. It was
Oh, it
Rosie.
was Streaker. Okay.
Rosie, nice. Good for her. Hell yeah.
All right. So if we go to singles, I think
excuse me. Good Lord.
so obviously Ty Thompson takes it down. If
Yeah.
you're listening, you've heard it by now.
Yeehaw!
If you've listened to the show for a while, you've heard the name, you've heard him on the show when we were in the TCL event. We met this kid 2 or 3 years ago. We were
He
introduced
had the
to him.
sauce then, man.
And we started watching him play, and yeah, you could just tell he just had something, and it was like every time he got on a broadcast, he'd play a little bit better.
Yeah.
And we used to joke like he'd get to a certain point in the match where the hat would come off, and then like the guy was
then
screwed.
then you
Like,
better
he
just
wouldn't-
watch out.
So we've seen it before that he had all the shots, and once he decided to go pro and he made it early this season, I said he was a dark horse to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
If we're looking for a name that not many people are talking about, Ty Thompson is somebody that can sneak in and have a. Now, did I think he was going to come in this year and win a singles national? I'll be honest with you. No, I didn't think he was going to be there. But did I think he could have in a bunch of like second and third place bracket finishes? Hell yeah, I did. But the fact that he took it down just shows that like how talented he is, and like at least we still know what we're doing a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, he's it was the happiest I've been for a singles champion in a long time. Just hearing his name called out, because again, we've been talking him up for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And he has the game.
And his
And now he's proved it.
his path was not
It's
easy.
nuts, but like we were talking about this when we were watching him play, and I'm like, he has a background in rodeo, like very high stakes stuff, and I think that certainly helps him under these bright lights. I think he thrives in it.
Oh yeah,
there's not many that do. I mean, a couple of these I think Trzynski's one of them. I think he tends to perform pretty well under the bright lights too. Yep. But yeah, it's just it's a special quality, and Ty Thompson, I think people need to recognize the name. He's going to be around for a minute.
I completely agree. So he did not have the easiest path. So he ends up beating Jamie Graham, who, I mean, was without question the hottest player in the country. Either Jamie Graham or Jacob Trzynski, I think you could make an argument were the hottest players in the country coming into this event.
Yeah.
Ty Thompson takes him down in the finals. In the round before that, he had to take out Sammy Soto, a guy that he's played 100 times in TCL events coming up. Sammy Soto is kind of a little bit big brother. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee you, if you're looking at head-to-head matchups between those two, Soto probably has a significant advantage in that matchup, but Ty Thompson took it to him. Didn't panic, stayed with it, and Soto just didn't hit the big shots when he needed to towards the end.
Yeah.
Jacob Trzynski loses a match to Jamie Graham. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like, Trzynski is on fire. It's just a matter of time before he cracks it. You know what I mean? Like, he's still he's still a top 5 player to me right now. He's earned that right. He's been consistent enough. Austin Waskow, we said it early in the season, and this is right. He's kind of starting to peak at the right time.
Yep.
Second in the bracket's very solid finish. Mark Richards, again, it's weird seeing him not win the bracket, but again, no,
nice to see his name.
You're in the finals
up,
there. You know, he's knocking on the door again.
Yeah.
The biggest heartbreak of the evening had to come with Gavin Cano. So we've talked a lot about Gavin Cano before, and just how it just needs to get that first one, just get over the hump. And I think it's just gonna be it's like a Rory McIlroy kind of thing. You're gonna see the weight of the world go off his shoulders, and then let's just see how he really plays. Right? He was up on Ty Thompson. He was sitting in the king's seat in game 1. He was up 20-3. He ends up losing it, right? And he started giving up a point or two. I think it was like 20-8 or something like that. And then in round 24, he throws a bag and it misses left. And you just saw in his face, like, oh my God, I'm losing it. And because I don't know who exactly he was looking in the crowd, but he like looked over the crowd real fast, and just the look he gave was, I'm like, oh shit, he's in trouble. Like, he just has zero confidence right now.
See that body
the rest of the match, you could just tell he was hoping and praying that Ty was just going to miss. Yeah. Ty just didn't miss.
Yeah.
Ty just took it to him, blood in the water, ended up winning that match, and then he wins the next one. Like, it was right, similar score, but like in pretty convincing fashion. So Ty Thompson is it's a handful. It's really tough to watch Gavin like just blow a lead like that when he's so close.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously there's redemption later on. Other notable finishes. Tony Forbes is also second in his bracket. Third in their bracket. Jason Rubin continuing showing that he's not just a doubles player.
No.
Like, he came back with some vengeance this year. Third in his bracket. Dalton McClem. Once a year, it seems like this guy just comes out, decides to show up to the event, plays really, really well. Third in his bracket, still really talented. Devin Harbaugh starting to kind of round back into form. Gage Landis is finally waking up after last year. We thought he kind of like was emerging, kind of showing off. Like, is this time that, again, it's still relatively early, right? We still have a few events left.
We're talking just about, these fields are just insane. Like, all these names we're mentioning, and we could say that about any one of them.
And then let's just throw a 9-year-old in. Why not? Because Cash Chamness taking 4th in his bracket. Like, that's ridiculous, man.
He's so close. I mean,
Riker Wells having a very good rookie season right now.
Yeah.
You know, obviously winning his bracket in the first one, 4th in the bracket here. Derek Holland is finally kind of showing up. Levi Haddock has been a little quiet early on. Listen, 4th in your bracket, still
he started
phenomenal.
off so hot in the opens and stuff.
Correct.
But he's another one, man. Just watch out for him.
Correct. All right, so if we move over to doubles, we just talked 5 minutes on Gavin Cano, right? And how he loses an epic heartbreak. And then, you know, he follows it up with his boy, Sammy Soto, and they take down Jamie Graham and Jacob Trzynski. Again, the hottest 2 players in the country coming to the event, just coming off of a win. They make it back to the finals, and Cano and Sammy Soto get it done. And the best part about it was that Gavin got to throw the last bag for the win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean,
it meant
kind
something.
Of a stamp.
When he hit that shot, you saw everything in him just leave. And it was such a cool moment. I'm hoping now that he did, even if it's in doubles.
Yeah.
You got the first one down. Let's roll.
You guys should be making a run at team of the year.
So I also want to just point out that in our power rankings, 1, 2, and 3 have all won the first 3 events.
Yeah.
You had Smith and Richards, you have Graham and Trzynski, and then you had Soto and Kano.
Which is pretty good on our part.
Pretty solid, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good start. Third place overall, Logan Chamberlain, Justin Burton Jr. Welcome back to the show. And then how about the other third place team, Mark Richards and Tony Smith? I mean, how about a fucking Final Four right there?
Fantastic.
That's what we need, boys.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying it could only be those 4 teams, right? But like when you start getting the big names involved in this stuff, that's when it gets fun to watch
Hell
these
yeah.
finals, right? I mean, these were all grueling matches. It was fun to watch. Tip of the cap. Brett Guy, Matt Guy starting to round back into form.
Dude,
I think it's only a matter of time before we're going to see Guy Nation back in.
I would
the
love to see it,
broadcast.
man.
We all want to see
They're
it.
electric when they're together.
100%.
playing,
We
man.
all want to see it. I want to see it, and then I want to see a good performance from them. though.
Yes, yeah.
I don't want to see them lose it. You know what I mean? Like right away. Like
Yeah.
I want to see Guy Nation
Get
show
up
up and
there,
show
be
out.
confident, show us what you can do.
Ethan Various and Tony Forbes also take second in their bracket. Ellis and Harbaugh starting to round back into form, second in their bracket. Rawls and Kingsbury, again, just kind of just ho-hum this year. You know what I mean? They're kind of flirting with all like second, third in their brackets. I think that they're doing just fine. Again, they're one of those teams that we would not be surprised if they were sitting in the Final Four.
No, not at all. And they're just one step away.
Ruben and Trader, obviously a very high-profile pairing. I think that it hasn't been quite up to par. Ryan doesn't seem to be having quite the year that he had last year.
Mhm.
It happens, right? We all see it
Yeah.
happen that second year. He's at that age where if he's starting to get taller, you know what I mean? Like we see that it takes an adjustment year sometimes. But, you know, third in the bracket, still very solid. Bubenheim and Power, kind of that experimental team. People weren't quite sure about the pairing. The more you think about it and you watch them play, like, oh, it's basically the same person.
It makes sense, yeah. I mean,
Like the same is very similar style.
yeah, they're showing. I mean, third in the bracket with those two. They're another team that it's not going to shock me
And
if
I
we
bel-
see them
and
in
I
one of these finals
believe
coming
they
up.
took third in their bracket at the first one and
Yeah.
second in the bracket last one.
Yeah,
So I mean, they're
like,
having a very
they're
solid
right
season.
there. Yeah,
All right, so it was quite the signature.
it was,
I think it's
man.
what
Like,
we needed.
these,
You know what I mean?
these names at the top were what the fans have been waiting for, and no slight to any of the other guys that have been in it. They just haven't been quite to this level. So, yeah, I think the fans were definitely spoiled by this one.
You ready for some dramatic readings?
Is it time to roll right into those?
Let's do it.
All right.
In a world where bean bags have brought men to their knees, social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
Addicted to cornhole. Khalid Comic. What ACL Pro has the flattest bag? And I mean flat. No right to left or left to right. No backload, no tilt. I watched a lot of pros throwing to develop mine. There's only 2 people I can think of. Possible third. Ryan W., Kaylee H., possible Jamie G. So I would argue that I would say Kaylee Hunter for sure. I think you can put her in that list. I think she deserves
She doesn't throw with a
a
tilt,
nod.
though?
She can throw a flat bag. I can see because she throws a high revolution. Ryan Windsor, no. Like
Yeah.
I mean he obviously he can throw a flat bag, but he manipulates the bag a lot.
Yeah.
Same with Jamie Graham, I would argue, manipulates the bag quite a lot. I would say the flattest bag consistently, I've said for a long time, probably Jimmy Humans.
Yeah. I mean, that thing is just a frisbee coming out of his hand. And he has that like scoop motion to it that
Yeah.
just comes out. Yeah. I mean,
I think
he's definitely one that comes to mind right off the bat.
Kyle Malone is another one that I think has always thrown a very flat bag.
He's just so effortless when he throws.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kaylee Hunter's a good one. I'm trying to think, super flat. Who do we? I'm trying to think. It's definitely not Tony. Tony Smith definitely tilts it. Trying to think of looking at this list here. You know,
I mean,
honestly,
Ruben.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say Ruben. He can tilt it, but if you're talking about just running bags, I mean, Jay Ruben's probably one up there
Yeah,
right with
I
the
mean-
flattest bags.
Tanner Halpert.
No. No Almanza, maybe. I mean, he does
Noah's
throw
got
into
a-
tilt
yeah.
though. Yeah, I mean that's I think that's a pretty good list we have right there.
I like the list.
I think Cody Henderson has an underrated like flat bag too.
What about like Alan Rawls?
No, because he throw like that little like almost like a reverse cut.
That's
Bit.
true. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Same thing with like Kingsbury. I mean, Kingsbury can throw either like kind of do whatever. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I like that list.
For sure.
Maybe
All right,
Jordan Power.
We got one more.
Ooh.
Is it addicted to cornhole? This is cornhole Jesus. Another year, another case of big name players not getting paid by bag sponsors.
I wish I had the beginning to Beauty and the Beast, like the title song. Tale as old as time.
So, yeah, obviously, like every year, it seems kind of this is the MO. This year seems to be a little bit different only because the company that I'm assuming that they're alluding to is a pretty
It's
big company.
Big boy, big player.
There has been rumors going around. I will
Rumor
say
has it.
confirmed / unconfirmed that there are several like relatively high profile players that are sponsored by All Cornhole that have not been paid yet this season, and they're owed decent amount of money. I'm hearing that this is all kind of related to like Rich Chamness, who had bought into a portion of All Cornhole, has then now left, and I don't really know the whole situation behind it.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem great.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but like it does sound like these guys have not been paid yet. I don't know what the contract says. I don't know if they're paid at the end of the season. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't
It
tell you.
would seem odd if that was kind of the setup,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like a great situation. So I'll be interested to kind of keep an eye on that developing story.
Yeah, I mean it's very interesting. Like we've had these smaller companies come out with what they think are deep pockets, and it blows up in their face.
Well, and
This
if you
is
think
a whole
about
different beast.
if you think about who All Cornhole sponsors, though specifically, I mean these are like they're like professional dudes.
Yeah.
Like they've been in the league. They've had good sponsors previously.
these
You
are
got,
guys
like,
that could have signed with probably anyone.
Well, you guys that got like Damon Dennis.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got Frank Modlin, you got Jay Rubin, you got Caleb Batson. You know what I mean? Like you have some guys
Yeah,
that like
some
have signed
big names in the
before.
sport,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, so I don't know. I haven't heard anything like disgruntled from necessarily like directly from players, but it's kind of just been the whispers going around that maybe some players are letting it be known that like they haven't been paid. So
yeah, I mean that sucks.
It does suck, and it kind of lends its hand to like next year. I'm hearing some things that there's going to be some significant changes to like the bag like setup and structure next year. We'll call it the bag market.
Yeah, I mean
I'm not
there kind of
ready-
needs to be to.
I'm
try
not ready to like go out and like say everything I'm hearing because I want to verify some stuff first. But like I'm hearing there's some pretty significant changes that are coming up that that's going to change a lot of stuff for next year. And I just think that with it being limited to 100 pros, I'm hoping that with it being a smaller number, that most of these guys are going to be able to find sponsorships without as much difficulty as it has been in the past. But if you're going to limit the amount of options someone has to then go get a bag sponsor,
Yeah.
it might
hinders
prove
that
a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But there are I've heard some looming changes kind of. I don't think anything's like official, but from what I'm hearing, it's like, I don't know how well that's going to go over. So
I mean, do changes in the ACL ever go over very well?
not initially, but sometimes they seem like they let stuff be known, but like it's not official, so they can kind of vet it.
Yeah.
And then kind of before they make their official statement, kind of vet it a little bit. So I'm wondering if
Let's
that's
test
kind
the
of one of the
waters a little, yeah.
situations. So I want to go like just find some more stuff out, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about it as it comes up. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's only in due time, Sean.
in
We'll find
due
out.
times. You wanna cue the rap horn?
Is it time?
Yeah, cue it.
Oh man.
Cue that shit. You can reach us at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Big Asp Cornhole.
And Facebook at Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. And the Overlords told you, head over to DraggingBags.com to pick yourself up a set of bags today. Drop code BIGASP12 at checkout. It's going to save you some money.
And just, I mean, we've talked about all the different series before. You have Charlie, Power Dragon. They're going to be coming out with a new series called My Bags.
Dude.
And I'm telling you, if you're a hybrid carpet fan, right? But sometimes you're playing on the boards and they get just a little bit slower, right? End of the night, everything starts tacking up.
This is the one.
You have this set of bags that's gone. And it's going to play just like your other one. It's going to play, and it's just as hole friendly, and it's great, and they worked well for us. And if we can throw them, you can throw them. I promise you. Because you're talking about like not flat bags right here.
And guess what? You can't have them because they're my bags.
They are my bags.
What's up?
For sure. If you're looking to support the show, we would love you forever, obviously. If you can do so at patreon.com/bigasscornhole. And for the price of beer a month, you can support the show. You get bonus content. We post the videos of all of our interviews and our episodes on Patreon. We're going to be having a happy hour, I think, this weekend, right?
I mean, I'm not back until Monday.
Oh, you're not? Oh, that's right. It's Friday this weekend.
Memorial.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe Monday or Tuesday.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll do something. I'm glad you told me that because I think I have an interview scheduled for Monday.
Yeah, don't
I'll
do it
look.
for Sunday.
Okay. So if you're looking to support the show, we would love it. It allows us to keep doing what we're doing. And without you guys, we wouldn't keep doing this stuff.
True that.
If you happen to listen on like Apple Podcast, if you don't mind dropping a review, be greatly appreciated. 5 stars would be awesome. But yeah, it's just we've been doing this for 5-6 years, and we wouldn't be able to keep doing it without people listening to the show, supporting us on like social media and stuff. So we appreciate it.
Hell yeah,
we do. We don't take the stuff for granted. So hope you guys enjoyed the episode. The interview coming up next with Miranda Coy and Lori
it's a
Dool.
banger.
It's really good, man. Like, and despite and I know people have very polarizing opinions of Lori Dool. So I think it was important to kind of give her a platform to get her side, because I think the opposite side is very loud. So all I ask people to do is go into this episode with an open mind, because I think people sometimes we judge people too fast. And they're very good people. They're very smart. They're well spoken, and they have really good ideas. And they're very involved in invested in growing the game going forward.
Yes.
So like they're on like everyone's side. So the interview is great. We love spending time with them. They're awesome.
Yeah, we go pretty in depth into like serious cornhole talk too, about like what's upcoming next year, and
for sure,
thoughts of pro players on what they expect. So
it's interesting to get a woman's point of view on the qualification process with it limiting down to 100. Is it worth it for them to stick in to that event? So we talk a lot about that. Miranda gives some really good insight about how her mindset's kind of evolved over like the last year. And it had the longer she's been a pro. So it's super interesting. They're really well spoken. We do a draft at the end, which is best dog breeds, which is just
fantastic.
Awesome. So hope you guys enjoy the interview. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4-baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later. All right. Well, welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. We are now joined by current women pro doubles. Right? Is that the whole thing, right?
Yeah, women's professional doubles.
Current champion
ACL
Miranda
champions
Coy
of
and
the
Lori
world
Dool
galaxy.
Joining us again, as they said they would after they win. What's going on, guys? How are you?
We're doing great. How are you guys?
Good. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you just feel like cooler like after you win? Like your life changed like dramatically after winning?
I always feel cool, but no, I mean, it's always a really gratifying feeling, and it feels like your hard work's really paid off. But I would say it probably lasts about 12 hours. And then now that, we have another one in a week and a half, I'm just set on getting the next one.
Yeah, and you realize, you really only get like an invite to a shitty podcast. Like,
I know.
Like that's your consolation prize.
I didn't even get an invite. I had to ask.
She was very fast about it. Okay. Like I think she was walking off the court as she was messaging me.
We actually sat down. It was in between. We came off the court and I went and sat down with my trophy. And I got the snacks out of my bag because I was starving. I hadn't eaten like all day.
I'm trying to remember what time it was.
I had an Uncrustable in one hand and a bag of carrots in my lap, eating carrots. And I was like, you know what? I feel like we totally deserve to be on the Big Ass Cornhole.
Oh, for sure.
Because we just won. Because last time we won a natty, we were on before, and now we're on after. Technically before we hopefully win the next one.
Correct.
Look at that.
Correct.
See, it's
I mean,
We do have a good track record.
Well, and
in
we
that
did
field,
say
so.
that after you guys won the night, like won another one, you come back on. So, well, welcome.
Exactly. Listen, so we're just on every Monday after a signature series.
I mean,
All right.
we'll
That's it.
we'll,
Got it.
Pencil it
we'll
in.
just go ahead and write it out since they come out with the schedule so far in advance now.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
we can all pencil those dates.
Exactly. We just know.
Did you guys have any travel issues like everyone else?
Not really. No, we had some bumpy flights, but
It was just some crazy weather like across the country. Like around here,
Oh, yeah.
everyone else around us got hammered with these big storms. We got wind, but not a drop of fucking rain. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where we live. There must be like this little dome. Like I'm starting to
I mean,
wonder, does everyone else actually
bite
exist?
your tongue. All right, we had one nice weekend.
I'm just
Need I
saying.
remind you the rest of like the other 15 so far this
Fair
year? It has been shit. All right,
I'm just
so,
annoyed because I laid down grass seed. It didn't rain. I had to water
you
it.
have to water it.
I know.
All right,
Anyway,
pay
Yeah.
for that
we
water.
did get
Damn it.
spoiled with the Colorado weather. It was super sunny and nice during the day and like cold at night.
nice.
And so when we left last night, we landed in Fort Lauderdale, and I don't think I've ever felt hotter in my life. We left today to go kind of celebrate our win a little bit. I feel like we kind of lukewarm celebrated on Saturday
Okay.
because we still had another, hopefully another national to win the next day.
Yeah.
In single. So we were like, let's celebrate, but let's not get too crazy. We still have work to do. And then today we were like, let's go have a good lunch and go have some
Yeah,
beers
for sure.
and have a good time before the podcast. So
Was there
yeah.
any like retail therapy or anything involed too? Like,
Oh, I do need to buy a new pair of shoes.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
All right.
I mean,
yeah,
hey,
I
nothing
cracked
wrong
my
with
shoes
that.
open again. I think it's a national championship thing. Every time we win a national championship, I like crack the side of my shoes like way too far open.
well, I mean,
bad.
there might be something to that then.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
we
just-
They're always like kind of on their last leg, and then we win a national championship, and then I go home and I'm like, I can't wear these anymore. So,
I mean, shit. I mean,
do you
why not?
at least retire them and like put them?
I know,
with the
right?
Trophy.
yeah.
Okay.
I actually write on the bottom what like national we won and what day
Oh,
it
yeah.
was, and then I figure one day if there's ever a Hall of Fame for cornhole, which would be awesome, maybe they'll be there one day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we know the owner of the URL, so we're
That is
there's
very true.
something in the works.
That's very
Sure.
true. That's very true. Lori, do you have anything that you keep like specific after your guys' wins?
So like I have like a bookshelf, right? With like
Yeah.
all of our like plaques and like you know what I mean? Like just like random things.
Yeah.
We keep our hotel cards. That's like the number one. We've
Yeah.
got like
Oh, I
stacks.
like that.
You know, you're
Okay.
supposed to
Yeah, yeah,
return
yeah.
those before you leave. I'm just saying, there is a box there, like on every
we
desk.
charge me for them yet, so don't
Yeah.
don't come for
Now
me.
they're asking us to get rid of them. They're like, put your hotel card on your phone. I'm like, that's lame.
Yeah,
I-
we're not
right?
doing-
I know.
we've got like bags, and then I have yet to like actually retire like shoes or any of that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But I feel like, if there's gonna be a uniform of, you know what I mean, like any of those things that are gonna come back up if we ever do have like a Hall of Fame,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
black Under Armour long sleeve is got to be in there.
Yeah,
You do
no,
kind of have
no.
a staple look. I mean, you
You
do.
do.
I mean, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. And my red buff hat that I won.
Oh
my,
no,
my, like,
that's the
first one.
answer. The red
Like,
buff hat.
That's
for
got to
sure.
be in it. In fact, like how they have,
I
like,
mean, at
the
least
knob
somebody
thing,
would make
like,
it to the finals then. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sorry. I know it's like,
No,
sorry.
I-
I just
no,
had to.
okay.
I had
get
to.
it.
I had to. Sorry. So, I know you guys didn't. You said you didn't have terrible travel woes, but Lori said you had some hotel adventures.
All right. So our hotel adventures, it would only happen to the two of us, of course, and it would only happen, of course, on Women's Doubles Day. Every time we travel, we have like an internal lock that we use, right? Because like we travel, we're two young ladies, like we're in a random hotel. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that we're there by ourselves.
It's just like a portable hotel lock.
Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you buy them on Amazon. I had a very good friend of mine from South Florida Cornhole. She bought it for us and we travel with it. In fact, she gave me a couple of them and I've given them away to other people because like when we travel, like you want to be safe. And the internal lock got stuck on the door and we had to have the fire department come break us out on Friday morning.
You guys were like stuck in your room.
All right. Hang on
It's
one
crazy.
second.
A lot of people get stuck out. We
got stuck.
conveniently got stuck in.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
There was a portion of time where they were like, is there a slider on your window? Can we get you out that way? And I was like, in my head, and I was the calm one. She fully panicked. She doesn't like being stuck in like any space. And so I'm like, okay, I have the choice. I can fully also panic or I can like try and be the reasonable, cool headed one. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to work better if I decide to be cool headed. And I'm like basically trying to pull the door handle off. The management won't help us, nothing. And I'm like, hey, call the non-emergent line. And they were like, can you get out the window? And I was like, I can just see in my head right now on Addicted to Cornhole, me and you climbing down like a fireman's ladder off the side of their truck. Like I knew that wasn't going to go well, but
100%.
No,
it would have been a great marketing ploy, though.
No, you guys
could
have
have
them
just decked
carry
yourself
you
out.
down. Like my thing is,
Oh, yeah, right?
You have firemen coming to your window to carry you down. Isn't that like a
was
dream?
great. Luckily, they jimmied the door open.
Okay.
Very luckily we got out, and then I shook their hands and I was like, listen, we're going to play to win our bracket for a national championship today. I was like, if we win and we win tomorrow on Saturday, like for our whole bracket, I was like, we will dedicate it to you. So Longmont Fire Department #1.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for getting us out of our room, or we wouldn't be 2-time national champions.
All right,
so
we'll
crazy.
tag them in the comments.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
They have a page.
On Colorado,
Holy
man.
crap.
It would only happen to us. And I feel like every time something goes wrong, or we have like travel woes, or some of our stuff gets lost, or like, God forbid, you leave something at home that you like desperately needed, we end up winning and or like doing very, very well. So I think we need to start locking ourselves in our room more often.
Do you think it's just because you don't have time to think about anything at that point? You're not thinking about playing. You're just thinking about surviving.
Or maybe
you get a lot of the stress out of the way. The stress of like, not like the feeling of things need to be perfect. Like it already wasn't perfect. So like, just do your thing, you know, maybe that's it. But yeah, it would only happen to us though. I don't think anybody else has ever locked themselves in their hotel.
So Lori, are you going to use this device again?
No, absolutely.
We're retiring it to the shelf.
We
Okay.
are,
All right.
that's going on the shelf too. Like, well, I think that's it.
you just need the newer model. I'm sure it's upgraded now.
It got stuck on an extra part of the lock. So it wasn't even like the actual device's fault. And I don't even know that it was the door's fault. I think it just so happened.
It was just
to,
a
like,
perfect storm. Yeah, I get it. That's
Like
so
the
crazy.
perfect storm. Of
So
And
crazy.
yeah, I was kind of against using the lock. I'm like, we're in a Super 8. I don't know. I mean, but we should use it because we're in a Super 8.
Now,
So.
what happens if this happened for the blind draw? Are you guys just like, all right, we're good? Like, just come get us in the morning?
Oh yeah, I'd have been like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. Well, actually, I feel like we still would have called the fire department because you don't like being in small spaces.
No.
So I feel like we would have had to get out anyway.
Well, I had a chance to get
But we
firemen
might
to
have
your
just
door.
called it
Like,
good
I
on
mean,
not
that's
going
true.
to the tournament. We might have just been like, you know what, let's go to the bar instead. Or something.
And we're friends with like a lot of firemen, and I can tell you for sure that's like one of those calls that they're like they're actually kind of pumped to get out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just go go hang out at
Sit
the
around
hotel
and,
for a
like,
little
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Nice. We had seen a fire truck the day before, and I was like, you know, maybe this is the time I like meet my husband. You know, maybe that's what happens. And then lo and behold, we have to call the fire department and meet 3 very nice, kind, attractive firemen.
I
before
mean,
we-
did you give out the digits like as you escaped?
No, I didn't. I mean, they were in and out. They unlocked the door and they're like, "Have a great day."
You should have given them like passes to like come to like the event or something. That
Yeah,
would have been a
just
baller
handwrite
move.
'em.
And
Yeah.
That would've been baller.
They were enthused. They were like professional cornhole, and it was really cool. So
Yeah.
I think we gotta send them a nice like care package though.
yeah, we got.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We thought
All right.
about going by with our trophies on Sunday. Being like,
Didn't
hey,
have time.
by the way, we won.
That would be that would be
But,
kind of sweet though. Take some
yeah.
pictures.
Like
and
you
stuff.
rescue champions, so you're welcome.
Rescue champions, thank you, appreciate it. But it was very funny. I texted Catherine Halbert, shout out to Catherine Halbert and Michael, and I just got an immediate phone call of just like, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Sounds
Like you're
cat.
locked in your room? And I explained the whole thing, and she was like, oh my God. So I was like, if we're a little late, like, what do we do?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, we're making this tournament one way or the other. Like,
Exactly.
but we ended up we got there at like 8:30, which is technically 30 minutes before we start. It's late for us, but not
Yeah.
late for the general population.
At least you guys were up and ready to go. Because like if you're
We
trying to
were.
rush in, that
Luckily,
would have been.
this is one of those days I wasn't late to, overslept or didn't get in the shower when I was supposed to.
All right, I want to talk about this match, the finals. All right.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a little bit of history coming back from last year, right? With Cheyenne, right? We'll get to that in a minute. All right. So so I was kind of excited when I saw the matchup in doubles, and it had a little something. Now, the first thing that I saw was there was this moment, and I couldn't quite catch it on what they were saying in the broadcast, but something had to have been said, because Miranda, you hit a big shot and you shush. I want to know who
did
were
that.
you?
Huh? What'd you say?
Yeah. What were you doing? And then what was said?
So to be honest with you, I think it was just like a really big like shot and turning point in the like game for me, momentum wise.
Yeah.
I knew like I had rolled the one bag over. She had hit an airmail before that. So I'm thinking, hey, I want to hit this backside. I don't want to drag it. I don't want to give her that clean airmail shot. I'm thinking it's sitting really well. Like she might drag it if she does happen to make that bag. So like, you know what? I'm going to try and go clean backside, and I hit it. And I just kind of maybe just murmurs from the crowd, something. I like we've always said, like we like to put on a show no matter what.
Yeah.
And in those moments, you just like, huh, what's going on? What'd you say? Like that. I probably heard something from the crowd of, oh, I think there was like a roar when she hit her shot.
Yeah.
And so then when I hit mine, I was like, I know there's not going to be a huge roar because there's just competing like people that are cheering for them, cheering for us. I like to keep it respectful, but I just thought it was kind of the moment to get a little fiery and have a little fun.
Okay, so there was nothing, no one specifically said something.
Nothing was said from any of the players.
This was just directed to everything.
This was just directed to like the general population of like, hey, like, did you see that? Did you catch it?
I thought during the broadcast, I thought you were talking like I said something wrong because you were like when you did it, it was like you were looking at the camera pretty much, and I'm like,
Sean, how dare you doubt?
I know, I'm like, I was cheering for you.
They have so many cameras too that like we never know where they're shooting from necessarily. So we can't you could just be looking dead on straight and like it looks like you're looking dead into the camera. I don't make a lot of eye contact anyway, so I probably would never look dead into the camera. But yeah, I think it was just a response to like the crowd and the vibe and just trying to keep the momentum going and just really like fire up my partner, which I mean, it worked and it looked good. So.
It was a really good match. I mean, it was back and forth like the entire time, like it was staying close. And then you get to like this big round beforehand. Lori, like what was going through your head before you threw the last bag? Like obviously like it looked like to me like you kept stick side down, so you knew you wanted to keep that bag on. At least let's get as many points as we can. But if I happen to push through it, awesome. It all worked out. But when you saw that you had an opportunity to possibly get 6, did you believe it? Like, did you know that was a shot for the win potentially?
No, it's for 9.
The third bag. I feel like that's
for 9. Oh, I'm sorry, for 9.
Yeah. So I think that Miranda and Cheyenne are going to run bags, right? Like that's just what is going to happen on the other end. So I knew on my end, I had to try and make something happen, right? So she misses the first bag goes off the front. Cool. I put mine in. Then she misses another one off the back. And that's super uncharacteristic. I mean, first of all, you don't see that from her. You don't see that from anybody really in a final. So now I'm looking at scoring 6 and we're sitting on 13. So fine, like you just gotta worry about your own bags, right? Like that's what I'm kind of thinking. But in my head, I was like, if I can lay a blocker, I know she's gonna shoot this. And after missing the first and her third bag, she's not hitting it. Like I know she's not gonna hit it. So, going for the push, you have to. I didn't come here to lay up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gonna try and take the shot. Those bags, though, because we always throw with black bags, we obviously have our white bags, like they're broken in. They don't have as many games on them. So I knew that they were going to move fast. That's why I never flipped it over, right? And Anthony Ione even said that. And I knew that it was going to move the way I needed it to if I hit it the right way, right? So, that's it. And to be honest with you, usually I go through, and I know a lot of people give me a hard time for, taking my time before I throw a bag. I go through, step by step, exactly, say the same thing in my head every single time. And I know that, if I'm in my own head and I'm doing everything I need to do, the right way, I'm just going to play great. And that's kind of what went through. But it's just one of those things. You either have that bag in your pocket or you don't. You're either clutch or you're not. And some people have it, some people don't. And I'm not even going to sit here and tell you it was, the most phenomenal shot that you could have ever hit. But it's when you have that bag in your hand, are you going to hit it or you're not?
Well, yeah, it's still clutch. Yeah, for sure.
Because I can tell you without fail, I would miss that 100% of the time.
Well, we saw it several times.
I can never hit that fucking bag.
I had the same bag in my hand earlier in that game. It was a little bit different of a block. It wasn't a complete B block, but I missed it.
You had it earlier in the day too.
Right. And there were so many times that I've missed that bag throughout the day. I miss him Sunday. I'll miss it 100 times after that. But it is, can you do it when the pressure's on, when you're playing on ESPN Plus for a doubles championship? And you know what I mean? Call it an Angels in the outfield moment if you want to, right? It doesn't make any difference, but it's when you have it and you have the opportunity to win the game, do it. Right.
Yeah.
Did it mean a little extra with you beating Cheyenne?
1000%.
Okay.
Right. Like, and I mean it in absolute no disrespect.
Yeah, I get it.
It's at the top. You know what I mean? Like, she's the most winningest woman of, you know what I mean? Like, of current.
If you're going to make it there, you want to beat the best, right? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you don't want anyone to ever doubt saying that, like, oh, well, you didn't have to go through, you know, like you had an easy road kind of thing. Like,
right. And like, we won our world championship last year, but like
national championship last year.
Sorry, national championship. My fault. But like, a lot of people could
We
probably
haven't won the
say,
other
like,
one yet. We're working on it.
it was a shootout format, right? So that like Cheyenne had already won the first one. So if you want to sit here and say like, okay, well, you didn't beat the best to get there, cool. I completely get that, but we certainly did, and we did it this time, right? Like, not every day's your day. But it was our day. But if you go back and you watch the Open that we won,
number 8, right? New Mexico,
which you don't see anywhere because it was not on the live stream, which is
correct.
just crazy. But you can find it. I have recorded it. It's also still out there. But yeah, we had I think we beat them in the 3rd place game, and then went on to double dip Sam and Rosie for the New Mexico Open. So I knew we had it in us. Like, there wasn't any doubt in my mind that like we can win that game, like, ever. And I don't really have a lot of doubt in my mind when we play anybody. I think if you have doubt in your mind when you play somebody, and you're already starting like behind the 8 ball, and 100%. I don't like to start behind the 8 ball ever.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to say that you guys like lack confidence. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are always like
confidence.
No, which is good though. I mean, you need to, like, if you're going to be a pro, like, you almost need to border on that arrogant cockiness. Like, you really need to. Like, I
think it's a super fine line.
100%.
It's a fine line of playing confidence and also having respect. And you can teeter that line. You can go over it sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely caught flack for going over that line sometimes, but I don't think anybody can ever say that like most of the women aren't confident, at least within themselves.
100%.
I'm just lucky enough to be confident within myself and my partner, and to know that like if we are both on our game, we are incredibly hard to beat.
Yeah, and again, it's like you want the arrogance and the cockiness like on the boards, but then it doesn't mean that's like how they're like off the boards.
Yeah,
we see it all the time. Like, we see it all the time in life, right?
Yeah,
like, people are motherfuckers on the field and they're off. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's
just, I'm not the same person at work as I am at home.
No,
like,
100%.
I think that kind of and it really is our job at the end of the day. I try not to treat it as a job. I try to treat it as something that I have a lot of fun doing. It is my job.
Yeah.
And I'm really lucky that I get to throw 4 bags at a board for a living. Not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah.
But I don't treat it as like this thing that I have to do. I treat it as this privileged thing that I get to do. So yeah, I think I think we both come in with this like unbridled confidence of just like, I know I've got it in the bag. And if I do what I'm supposed to do, then I'm going to win. And that's the only way to approach it. I don't see any other way to make it happen, in my opinion.
All right. So you mentioned that you get to throw 4 bags for a living, right? Pretty cool job. Feel fortunate. Next year they're trimming this field down, right? So they're going to 100. What does that mean for you guys? Like, let's say hypothetically, you guys are not in that automatic 100, but they're still going to have like a women's pro division, but it's not in the 100. So it's kind of confusing, but if you're in the cornhole community, you kind of understand it. Is it still worth it for you guys to do it? Have you guys thought about it that head? Or are you guys still in the moment? So like,
you can answer first.
So we have a little bit of a different answer, and we've gone back and forth on it multiple times. I started on the point of like, I want to continue to be a pro, the same type of pro that I've been for what would be my 5th year. So I was very like, it's full pro or nothing for a very long time. But now kind of looking at, I mean, I still feel like 1,000% we have a shot to make pro.
Yeah. I'm
still doing great in singles. We're still doing very, very well in doubles. And there is no doubt in my mind that like, if anybody can do it, it would be the 2 of us. And, we've still got so much of the season left. So there's so much more that we can continue to do.
Yep.
But I have, as of the past couple of months, have just been thinking like, you know, how would it be fair to us to be at the top of the women's field and who the 2 of us are as people, and just say, you know what, if I can't be a full pro, then I'd rather just not play. I don't think that's fair either. I think that part of what we do is like bringing people into cornhole and the love of cornhole and the love of the game. And whether that means being a full pro or not being a full pro, I don't think that part of it changes. So I would be open to continuing to stay on and do full women's pro, like just the women's things. If the league keeps growing and the money makes sense and all of those things. So if the business part of it makes sense, I could totally see us continuing to play.
I mean, I think it's an inevitable split we're going to see, right? I mean, in every major sport in the country, we see a separate league for men's and women's. It's been great. I love that's one of the great things about cornhole is that it doesn't matter what sex you are. You can play and compete at the highest level. It doesn't really matter. I just think inevitably it's going to probably have a split. Just every major league does. It's another revenue opportunity, you know what I mean, for the leagues.
For years it's been that conversation of splitting. And
well, what are your guys' opinions? Do you want? I mean, obviously you guys want to compete up against the best, but if they did make the firm split, like you guys are still like you think it's still important to participate.
Everybody, I would say for years, everybody that has been at the top of the women's division has been like, I don't want to play if we can't play against the men.
Right.
Okay.
But to be honest with you now, like
there's so many of you guys that are so good.
Yeah,
though.
that's my thing is the women's play has just become so good.
It's not 5 years ago anymore where there was like 8 of you guys that were like worth having a conversation about. And I'm like, no disrespect, but like, you know, that's how it was. It was 8 of you guys are winning everything. Yeah, but now there's like legitimately like 20, 25 of you guys that like could probably win singles at any time.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I agree. I've talked to Stacey about it quite a few times. I am very against having like a separate women's league, but to be honest with you, and I've been around for a long time, the women just didn't, and I, like myself included, but like the women just didn't do enough to make it solidified that we could still say in like the top 100, right? Yeah. So if you had to cut it and you had to cut it today, I think the only person, and again, don't quote me. So if I get somebody wrong, like don't come for me in the comments.
I get you.
But like, I think it's Cheyenne is like the only one that might make it. Like Deb is close because her and her partner have been playing great. I think that Caitlin Hunter's like up there in the top for doubles. Like Sam Finley and Rosie Streaker, like not far off. Same thing with like Sarah and Elizabeth, like not far. But if we had to cut it today, like I think there's one, right? And I just feel like, you know what I mean? Between like Cheyenne last year making it into the Final Four, she won her bracket. That was fantastic for women in the sport. Cameron Belvin hitting that one shot and winning a shootout with Noah Wu back in 2021. Fantastic. But then the rest of, you know what I mean? Like everybody else, like we just didn't do our due diligence. And like, I don't know what the difference is. Cause like, honestly, I mean, you see like young kids out here that are smaller than me, right? So it's not a size thing. Like, I don't know what it really is, but there's just a lot of things that we didn't do. And I would love to sit here and tell you that there's could be 25 women in the top 100. But it's just, I don't think it's going to happen for us. So unfortunately, I think that's just the way that the sport is going to go.
What do we have to do? So I don't know if we had Trey on a few weeks ago and he was talking about kind of like the ACL changing the direction of like their approach, right? Like, and they've been very heavy and trying to develop like this pro division and make it like, and they've done it, right? Like they've well established that if you're a pro cornhole player across the board, you play for the ACL, right? We know there's other leagues, but the ACL is widely considered kind of the highest league. Where do you guys think it's like they want to go to like the grassroots? You guys are very involved in like your local area and you're constantly posting and promoting and trying to grow the game. What steps do we need to do? Not just to grow, like not just get more women involved, but just like people in general to like join and then stay.
I think they are doing a lot of good things this year. I like what they're doing with the whole club situation and bringing in the whole points, the PEP point system.
Are people in your area, do they know about the PEP system?
Yeah, I would say the people that like come to like our Monday night stuff, they know.
Okay.
She does a very good job, like very due diligence. There's a lot of good things in the community to like let everybody know, like, hey, this is how things work now.
Okay.
Things change every single year. From the rules to how just regular tournaments are working and like registering.
Are you guys directors too?
She is.
Okay.
So that is a part of her job, but she does do a really good job of like sitting down and explaining how things work and making sure that people are like really capitalizing on all those new opportunities. So I think we are headed in the right direction. I don't know, like, what would you say that we could do more to like make it at the grassroots level?
I think we're losing a lot of people at like opens and like all of our like bigger events because it's confusing, right? Like if you're just like a random like intermediate player, you're a new player. I think we're losing a lot of people that way. And then I think and again, this is just my own opinion, but I think the elite players that are winning tier 3 at opens shouldn't be happening. or like people who continue to sandbag, who are advanced players winning tier 3. And I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say it with my chest. Yes.
Oh.
It happened in Florida. And and like no shade, but like if you're an elite player and you're not in tier 1 when all the pros are out, you shouldn't be playing. And we're not allowed
I think
to
you
play
should be
anywhere.
playing at tier 1. Yeah.
Right. We're not allowed to play anywhere lower, and it is what it is, right? Like as a pro player, if you're going to be just as good, if not better, right? Like then why are we winning tier 3? And they went through and they kind of changed it after the first year that we had opens.
But do they get paid in tier 3?
No, I think
It's just
now
prizes, right? It's boards,
merch
right?
and,
Yeah,
boards,
that's what I
like
thought. Okay.
I honestly don't know. I mean, a lot of the stuff we made tier 1 across the board, all the opens this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, to be honest with you, what the exact prizes are.
Yeah, I can't. I think it's. I can't. I know it's at some point they stopped doing cash. I think it's
tier 2. I think it's only paying
Yeah,
out
I think
tier
tier
1
1
and
is
tier 1.
cash.
Yeah. Okay.
And then after that, I think
mean,
tier 2 boards.
I know.
and
Listen, this is the great debate in the cornhole community, right? Where it's the intermediate competitive. It's actually the competitive player is very loud and proud, where they feel like if they put their money in, it shouldn't go to the top. It should stay in the same division. If you got I just don't understand that. If you're going to an open event, which is we're trying to figure out who the best fucking player is, not who the best mediocre player is, then and you're playing for money, like it should go there. Like in any other league, like it doesn't work like that.
I think it's like gone is the day in cornhole where you see people just showing up to go have a good time. It just bothers the shit out of me because we've mentioned it many times. We don't walk into a tournament expecting to win anything. I know that a lot of people dedicate way more time to this game, but I love being around the sport and I love being around the people.
Right.
Winning a prize and shit like that to me is way better. Like, give me a trophy, give me a jersey, give me boards for winning a tournament. To me, that speaks volumes more than
I don't
any
know.
kind of amount of money.
I'm interested to get your guys' opinion, and I think we asked this question to ourselves last week.
Yeah.
Is our thinking like this? Are we the majority and we're just quiet, or are we a quiet minority?
I think you guys are the majority, and the majority that does, like, you guys don't speak up enough. I do think there's a lot of people, and I've even said at the professional level, there were many times years ago where it was so much more fun. It was so much more of like a camaraderie and more people that like you're friends with and you're talking to and things like that. And I know all the BS, whatever, like it's fine. But point is, like, it's not just us, it's everybody's kind of feeling that across the board, where it's less of even at like bottom to top, it's less of we're here to have fun and have a good time and hopefully play well and do what we came here to do. It's so competitive now that it's just at the point where like everybody's just at each other's throats. And there's no more of that, let's all go out to dinner, let's all go, like have a good time. It's just it's very far and few between, I would say.
Well, I think so many people fell in love with the game during COVID when there was nothing else there, right? And they loved it so much that first year or two that when things started opening up, they're like, you know what, let's give this a try and let's go spend our money and travel and go do this stuff. Yeah. And then after a year or two of it, we lost a lot of those people because it's fucking expensive to travel. And it's just and it's a hobby. Like, let's call it for 99.9% of us, it's a hobby. So if we're leaving, I'm not expecting to win money. I'm going to lose money that whole time if I'm going to an event. Mm-hmm. Right. So like, I just think that there's less people looking for that competitive, the highest level competition and paying money to travel out of town, going to opens how they were once upon a time. If you go to a very saturated area like the Midwest where there's 4 states within 2 hours and you can pull a bunch of people in.
Let's go to the Midwest. I've been saying that.
You can do like a bunch, or like Florida. You guys in Florida, Carolinas, Texas. I mean, you're gonna have these big pools of people. Like you're gonna have like those areas where you can do it. So I just think that it's just getting really expensive. I think the game itself is still getting very popular. You're seeing clubs pop up fucking everywhere. I just don't know. Yeah. I think we've already pinnacled and seen the most participation we're going to see at the highest level. And I think the ACL is kind of admitting that with them cutting down to 100.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think it's manageable.
Make the competition a lot stronger and cut down on sponsorship dollars and like all that stuff. So it's not going like just out to so many people that, I mean, are just not doing anything. I think in like pro singles and pro doubles.
Well, and that's what to me, and I believe me, I think that the 100 spots should 100% be earned. Yeah. I get that. Like we're at this point in the game, we want the best 100 players, but like there is room, and I think that's why the ACL is keeping like a pro women's division, a pro juniors division, because even there are still going to be those marginalized players that are still worth like just the marketing, like the name value that they have and the effort that they've put in and the fans and the fan base that they have. Like they're still integral parts of the ACL. You know what I mean? Like it does matter, a big part. And like guys like people don't give the guy enough credit, but like Cito Soto was like the biggest ACL cheerleader for like years and years and never got any credit.
Like, yeah,
he still does, and he's great. And you know what? Every league needs those kind of guys. And I'm not saying you have to do it like him, but like you guys are like that. You guys are very ACL cheerleaders. You run tournaments. You guys go on the ACL college the cruise, right? Like you guys do all that marketing stuff. Like that stuff should matter, I think. And not you're right. It's what would you say percentage of current pros do anything to try to market? Whether I'll even give you, not just for the ACL, we'll say do any marketing for themselves at all.
5%.
Yeah, I think it just
yeah, I would say I would agree
high.
probably. I think 5% is about right. TikTok has helped a lot of people. A lot of people live stream and post videos and stuff. But yeah, I would say it's like 5-10% at most.
Yeah, it's a small percentage. I do think part of it is like marketing knowledge and knowing
100%.
what to do, what to say, how to market yourself, things like that. I mean, one of my absolute favorite people in the league and one of my favorite teams this year is Frank Modlin and Damon Dennis.
Yeah.
And Frank does a very good job. Damon does a very good job, but they're also not at that same like
tech savvy.
Like, oh, I can market myself X, Y, and Z. Like they don't have time like that. And they also just, sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And marketing isn't, as people like to say, is not that easy.
Yeah, but could you imagine those two putting together like a little video and releasing it during like when Murder She Wrote or Matlock is running? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
go
people
viral.
be dying.
And people love them. I mean, people love Frank Modlin. They love Damon Dennis.
Yeah.
They would love to see those types of
100%.
things from them. We just don't get it from them because I mean, are you going to pay a marketing company to come and make things for you? I've even said that. I would love for someone to come and do that stuff for me, but it's not realistic at the current moment. I would love for it one day to be.
Now have you used Samuel Martinez before for bag season?
Sam has made quite a few videos.
Yeah, right. I've seen several.
Love Sam.
He's awesome, dude. Yeah, he's the best.
I think I know one of the videos he did of me last year has somewhere like 6 or 7 million views.
Yeah,
it's on just Facebook.
His quality is second to none. Like his editing skills and he knows it. His vision
is phenomenal.
It's great.
And I hope to work with
him.
him.
And if again, like this, just quick shout out. I love this dude, Samuel Martinez. He's bag season. So if you're not following him on like Facebook and Instagram, like and you're a cornhole fan, like you're missing out. Like he has the best videos out there. So
on a side note, can you guys? I actually have a favor to ask of you, since you love the Damon Dennis and Frank Modlin team so much. And we want to get them on social media. Can you guys actually stage a video of Damon Dennis trying to record Frank Modlin doing like something, but actually have the camera just facing Damon? Like, have you guys seen those where it's like, he thinks he's recording forward, but it's actually just on him the whole time?
Yes.
I think it would be, that would go viral in the cornhole community immediately.
Still one of my favorite videos I ever made was that old. So I had a video of my son throwing like a little cornhole bag, like at a board. And I put it in black and white. And it was like 1913. Damon Dennis discovers cornhole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is so funny.
It was like 5 years ago, but I scrolled across it the other day. I'm like, oh, that's so good. Didn't get enough love.
It didn't.
Did not get enough love. All right. So you have a shit ton of listener questions. You guys are popular.
Aww.
You are popular, which is, it makes our job a lot easier because people ask the questions that other people want to hear.
Yeah, I think notorious might
be a better word, but
word.
I would say beloved.
Right. Before I forget to ask you this, before we get to listener questions, Lori, I want to get your side of everything because we talked about it after Worlds. What happened in that match? We know like the gist of it was just to remind people that I think that in a shot clock, like the official was called, right? And they were going to put you on the clock and you were none too pleased. Is this correct? I want to hear you from your side.
Okay. So I'm not going to go into all the comments that were made, but everything.
No. This is your chance to stick up for yourself because I think the other side was very loud. So this is your chance to talk.
Yeah. Listen, and that's okay. They can be as loud as.
Oh, I know. That's what we can be loud too. So it's okay.
Yeah. It is what it is. I will tell you that there was things said when I was sitting in the crowd cheering on Miranda, very respectfully, standing next to Cheyenne's, in between Cheyenne's mom and dad. So I could tell you that I didn't say 2 words because, like, again, we're all from Florida, right? Like, I know who they are. I'm not going to be disrespectful, especially to your parents.
Of course. Yeah.
When they're showing up on their own dime to cheer you on, like, it was Cheyenne and Miranda were playing against each other. Miranda won the match. There were words said to me about Miranda, about myself, about my fiance. And I can tell you that I didn't say a word. The second match, when it happened again, I again was sitting next to an ACL staff member, so I can tell you that
Nobody said
say
anything.
anything.
No one said anything you could hear a pin drop in that place.
To be
It's the best.
that when I'm just a spectator and I said nothing, and it rolled over into the next day. And I'm gonna tell you what, like, it doesn't matter what was said, what was not said. If somebody is going to be, you could say whatever you want about me. I could care less, right? Like, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter what you do, right? Like, people are always going to hate you. People are, you know what I mean? Like, always going to
People are going to love you, and people are going to hate you.
And it doesn't matter. But if you're going to come after her, that's absolutely not going to happen. Okay. Like, it's not. And I am never going to back down from that. And it doesn't make any difference if you apologize, like you said it. If you're going to say it with your chest, then you better keep saying it. But there's a lot of people who very loudly said it that weekend, who sat in the crowd on Saturday night and kept their mouth shut. Like, say it with your chest and back that up. And that's how I feel about it.
Or you just ask them why they're still sitting in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
What happened?
Or you just ask them why they're still sitting in the crowd.
Well, then, I mean, but like, you obviously are going to sit there, right? Like, I'm going to go Pete Weber on this. Love it or hate it, you watch, right? But these were the people who were screaming.
I love that you use Pete Weber as your example.
At the World Championships, and just decided to be jerks for whatever reason. Didn't even involve half of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you. That's good. But like, stick up for yourself. Like, if you're gonna do it 110%. Like, and that's how I feel about it.
Fair enough.
I think this situation definitely snowballed, like you said.
It's because this community has nothing to talk about. And so any little thing that we get, you have to magnify it. So like, that was like a huge deal. And you like almost ruined my vacation, by the way, because I was getting blown up from fucking messages every 2 minutes being like, what's going on in this situation? I'm like, I'm on vacation. What? I don't know. I'm like walking around Disney World or something. I have no idea what's going on.
I remember you text like,
I'm like, Dane, you need to figure out what the fuck is going on, because I'm getting blown up.
I mean, like you said, like everybody else's side but ours was pretty loud.
Yes.
I remember coming off the court and I was like, there have been multiple years at Worlds where I feel like sometimes you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop and something to be said or happen or whatever. And just been accused of a lot of different things over the last 4 years. And that's totally fine. I get it. When you're winning and you're doing great things, like, you got to do what you can. It's sometimes to take people out, whatever.
It's the curse of the RBF.
Didn't actually happen, but at the end of the day, I came on court and I was like, I did nothing wrong this week. I didn't say anything to anybody. No, like, people are saying things to me, and you kind of get stuck rock in a hard place.
Yeah.
Do you say something back and inevitably end up kind of looking like the villain, or because sometimes you just get painted that way, and that's kind of just life.
I think it's because you guys are very tight and you're always together, right? And it's intimidating sometimes.
It's also very easy. It's a very easy thing to shoot at. Like, and to be honest with you, nothing that anybody could say and or do or bring to either one of us is ever gonna like damage our actual friendship or relationship.
Oh, of course not.
I've said for years, like, our friendship and relationship is not it doesn't rely on cornhole. Like, we can both leave tomorrow and we will still be friends. We live together. Even if we didn't, it doesn't matter. We would still be friends. And I think that's also an intimidating thing, that we actually got a real friendship out of this. And I've always said, if the only thing I get from cornhole is an actual true friend, then I'm more of a winner than anybody else.
100%.
Like, the word intimidating comes up, right? And like, people constantly use that against the two of us. And it's really disheartening.
Lori, it's really you. You're the intimidating one.
You know what? Thank you. And
yeah, I knew you'd.
You got
that.
teacher vibes.
I'm offended.
She's got that teacher vibe.
At the same time, I think people have to get out of this like cookie cutter, like women's sports, whatever. If you watch any women's sports right now, go watch the Women's World Series of softball. We watched it. We sat and watched it today. They're the ones like yelling and pumped and like.
Oh, for sure.
Days of like being cookie cutter and being like prim and proper of being an athlete, like that's done and out of the way. Like we are allowed to be aggressive, right?
Oh,
Like,
I think it's great. I think 100%. I think it's needed.
Yeah. And I don't think either of us have ever been that athlete that has been demure. We'll use a good 10 letter word. We'll use a good word there. I think 100%. Like we've never been quiet about it. We've never been. I've played sports for a lot of years. I've been the captain of a men's golf team. I have seen a lot of stuff that I didn't want to see. But at the end of the day, I mean, she was a wrestler in high school and then, got offered to go on and play in college. It's a whole thing with women and this thing where we're supposed to be a certain way. And when you're not that way, it's wrong. And I think that's the narrative that we have to change. And if one thing that I think the two of us would love to accomplish is changing that narrative of you have to be this like girly, prim, proper, whatever. You don't have to be that. You can be yourself.
there's nothing wrong with doing that. I'm not saying that, but there's the other opportunity as well.
Yeah.
Right. And that should also be as just accepted, right, as doing it and just being like quiet. I'm sorry, I hit the game-winning shot to win a national championship. I'm not going to sit there and just walk off the court like nothing happened, right? Like I'm going to be pumped. I'm going to be excited. That's what we work for. That's why we show up, right? That's what it's all about. And even like the ACL acknowledged that, which I was a little shocked at, to be honest. But like
I was excited. They were very acknowledging of the fact that like, and I think they do like teams like us, and there aren't a lot of teams like us that get pumped and excited.
We like teams like you because it makes it easier to watch. Like you want to see some passion on the court. Like otherwise, what are we watching for hours on end?
You got something on the line. You've got something to lose. You got to put your heart in it. And if that's one thing that I think we do well is we put our heart in it. And if that's not okay for other people, then that's fine.
Cornhole is great. I think a lot of people found the appeal of cornhole right away. It's because they could go play against the people that they just saw on TV on a random night, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they said like this relatability that you can go play them. This is like a public service announcement to remember that like people are different people when you're playing them in a game, like in a competitive environment. I am a completely a lot of people, fans of the show will tell you, if you play against me, I'm not nice. Like I'm not your friend. As soon as the game's over, I'll go grab a beer, like no problem. But like, I'm not the like warm, I don't want to have a conversation with you. You're a fan of the show. Great. Fucking tell me afterwards. But like right now, like I'm not going to fist. I had to resort to mental games against a 7-year-old who was going to beat the shit out of me. And then I literally had,
I witnessed it, and I'm like, he's allowed though. He's a dad.
Yeah,
so.
like I mean,
like
that's just because you're like this on the board does not necessarily mean you're like that off, and that's okay whether you're male or female. And I think that's kind of what it is for you guys. You guys get a bad rap because whether people like it or not, you're always going to have fans and people that don't like people that get loud and proud, right? Like they just don't like it. They're like, you know what I mean? They want like the prim and proper team. I'm the opposite. I want the loud team. I want the ones that are going to get me excited because that's how I would be acting. But you're always going to have haters, but it's just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to translate to you guys off the boards. And that's what I think sometimes it does in this community.
I agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
You're very nice. We've talked about this a lot the first time you guys on. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. But like, again, the first time, like, I was intimidated. Like, I was always, like, nervous to go over talk to you guys. You guys roll together everywhere. And, you know what I mean? Like, but then we started talking. I'm like, oh, you guys are nice. And, like,
he's just notoriously scared of women. So,
yeah, man.
You gotta,
I'm married. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just battle for
I mean, we've all, I think, in the women's division have a mutual respect, at least for each other. I mean, even just in the pro division. And, I mean, you grab drinks afterwards. It's not that big of a deal. It is to win. It is a big deal. It's a huge deal to come out and like accomplish what you've been working towards. And whether other people think it's a big deal doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, I mean, I was just as excited. I was trying to get the fist bump in and the catch. I kind of messed the catch up this time. I won't mess it up next time. Trying to fist bump everybody. Don't want to get accused of not, having sportsmanship or not fist bumping people. But there have been comments. I'm like, yeah,
you're fine. You're fine. You can go celebrate with your partner first. Lori, did you know the guy that was trying to like celebrate with you or something afterwards?
Yes. Oh my.
Crazy.
It's so sweet.
So cringy. It was very cringy to watch on TV. It was.
Yeah. Omar's the best.
He came over to warm up with us, right?
Okay.
And so we were over, like we had our headphones in. We are just like trying to vibe, like just trying to warm up because it like Saturday just in regular like pro doubles like didn't go our way. So we're just trying to like reset, refocus. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like even if it's not like a regular like live stream court, right? It's still you're going up there. You're playing for the championship.
Yeah.
You gotta refocus. You got to do all the things. So that's what we were trying to do. And this guy came up and he was like, "Can I warm up with you?" And I was like, "Absolutely, right?" Like I'm never gonna say no.
I like it for timing. I don't like to just like throw because I throw fast. So like the timing.
Yeah.
He came over. He's a local guy. He came over. He warmed up with us, and he sat there and he watched every second of that entire match. And like the craziest part about it is him and a couple of his buddies came out to dinner with us after we.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like when you talked about like doing things like to make it like better for, you know what I mean? Like your local players and whatever.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Like those guys got to go and like live in the moment with us, which we greatly appreciated.
And that's a story that they're going to go home and tell all their buddies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they just
So, like for everything, I think that like one of the things that, you know what I mean? Like people are going to sit here and say like that we did wrong. Like there's somebody else who's going to say something that we did something right. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I
The
mean?
haters are always much louder.
Oh yeah.
They are. Yeah.
And Omar's never going to tell you that story, right? He's not going to go on a broadcast or like comment on anything and like say like whatever. Like we had dinner with them. They were real cool.
I didn't
whatever.
even realize that he came to hug you because I was like, I think when she hit those 2 bags in, I think I blacked out. And I don't even think I blacked out. I know I blacked out because I remember being there, but it's like it's an out of body experience. I think every time like I have won something big like that, like when I won my first shootout, I'm pretty sure for the last 5 rounds, I like blacked out. I just 100% was just like, I'm going to throw my bags in the hole and that's it.
I'm sure it was a completely innocent thing. I'm just a sick, twisted individual and I wait for things like that just to find any awkwardness. And I was waiting. Yeah. And as soon as I saw it, I wrote it down.
This man's algorithm.
Dude,
all right. His algorithm is completely fucked. It like never look at it.
Yeah, no, it was great. Like to have, you know what I mean? And just like to like make a friend and, you know,
that's
like
awesome.
Like throughout the day was great. And he's always going to be part of our story.
Well, shout out to Omar.
Yeah.
All right. So first listener question, Athena Delgado. She's kind of a big deal.
This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite.
But for the record, she's a big deal who's a listener. So hey,
I know. I mean,
we must be a bigger deal. All right.
As 2 of the most recognized women in the sport, how have you seen the role of women involved within the sport? And what advice would you give to the next generation of female players and leaders?
You can start.
So there's a couple of like young ladies that we've gotten to know like throughout, you know what I mean, like the season that I really didn't know too much, but it's very difficult as a young lady because my first year, she wasn't here yet, right? Like I had different partners.
I mean, I was alive.
Well, yeah, but like
she's not that much younger. Oh my God.
It was very difficult to like try and fit in, like to make friends, like to, you know, have people to room with, like have people to go like out to eat with and like, especially in the women's division.
For sure.
So a couple of young ladies that like, listen, you may not like me and that's fine, but like, I'm going to sit here and try and coach you up because I'm going to be long gone. You know what I mean? And they're going to be, and they're just starting their journey, right? Whether we quit or we're still here for the next 10 years, like there's going to be so many people that like come and do it. And if there's nobody else to fill our shoes, then our story doesn't get to continue, right? Like I didn't like work my tail off for no particular reason, for it to just die and not go anywhere, right? So you want like, it doesn't even matter, right? Like we've won like some cool things. We may win some more, whatever, but like you want people to at least be able to continue to tell your story. So to try and live that like legacy on. And I think that women play a very important role in the ACL because I'm going to be honest with you, like there's a demographic of young gentlemen and they all look exactly the same to me, right? But all of the women stand out. They all look different. Like and there's not 2 women that look exactly the same.
I think you've asked me the same guy. You've asked me his name like 5 times. But it's been a different name every time. She thinks it's someone different. But to be fair, they all look very similar.
But all the young kids, like in the age of like 18 to like 25, they all have the same haircut. Like they're all like super tall. Like and they all wear the same
they're all
outfits.
really good. They throw like similar bags.
They do.
So like in her defense,
they're all either BG or Brotherhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
they all are kind of in the same tax bracket. So then when she's like, "Did we play them?" I'm like, "No, we played the other one, the one over there."
But like, I mean it in no disrespect because they are fantastic, right? Like there are so many of those guys that are just great. I don't want to play him. If I don't know your name, I don't want to play you because like it's gonna be one of those kids. I love that, but like the women are all standouts, right? Like every single woman you could sit here and say like, oh, and there's more people that know more about the women than they do some of the men. And it's not because of, you know what I mean, like talent or titles or whatever. It's just because like we're more recognizable. So when Athena asked that question, I think it's a great question. And I think it's very important that the women continue to stick around for the ACL to be able to do, you know, some of these like extra things so that we are kind of building awareness and building our brand.
All right. So follow-up question. We're talking about the new ladies in the game. Who's next?
Oh yeah, who's the next rising star?
Who's next?
Like next, like coming up.
I mean, Riley Schaaf's been around for a minute. I don't know if she's next year.
Riley's really
she's
been
not like
stepping up.
she's not a
I have
new.
always been I would like to, for the people in the back, I've always been a big Riley Schaaf fan.
She's not been.
Yeah,
She's not a
I
new
play her
name.
straight up.
She's not a new name, but every year she's getting better. Like you know what I mean? Like
she's doing, and I've been there for the kid through like some of the ups and downs. I've talked to her after the wins and the losses and given her some of the advice that I've been given by people who are older and wiser than me. And I think that in general, she has a great game. She's so consistent. I have been a Riley fan since the beginning. I would love to see her finish up. She did win win my bracket yesterday. I would love to see her finish up and win one. And I do think that she could be the future of the sport for sure.
yeah, because she's been around too, so you know, like she's invested in it.
Yeah.
And like Caitlin,
and she's got a really good support system too.
100%.
So I think that's super helpful.
well, and they just moved to like Rock Hill too, didn't they? Like, didn't they move to South Carolina to be close to the headquarter?
Like I said,
Yeah.
all the right things.
Yeah, 100%.
To put herself in a great position. I think another couple of names, the young ladies from Hawaii. I'm always
McCalvey.
I love the Calvi.
Or Calvi, yeah. Calvi. Michaela Calvi, right?
I love both of them.
Yeah.
I think one thing that stands out and why a big part of why I think they're so successful is their support system is insane.
Oh God, they roll
have some
deep.
of the nicest, greatest people.
Yep.
Just like we've talked
Are
about.
they 808 crew?
Like,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean that's
The Hawaii Cornhole crew. I think that's what they are. Ohana crew.
Yeah, the Ohana.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But they've got an amazing
Like
support
formerly
system. And
Airwolf,
it's so much easier to be great when you've got a good support system. So I think they're up and coming as well. There's a lot of young ladies. There's a lot. And
all right, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
So besides skill on the board, because like you obviously need to be very talented to get even like noticed at this level. Do you think it's important for them like at this age to like, is it just get better at cornhole, or do they need to like also try to be marketable? Because I agree. Like I think Calvies are outstanding players, but unless you're a huge cornhole loser, you have no idea who they are. Like they're just not, and they're super quiet. Riley's out there a little bit, but like she doesn't post, you know, like there's not as much of a presence. You know what I mean? Like
a lot of it is marketing. Yeah. I mean, you do have, I was very fortunate to come in and play with my cousin Courtney and sort of get my name out that way. I don't really think I was super known at that point.
Well, I think your cousin had already done a good job. Like she had been on the broadcast a bunch playing.
It was kind of that good play in for me, but until I got that first big win in that shootout.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when it really got.
Well, see, I would argue I knew who you were before you came to the ACL just because of your marketing. Like you were known as the roll queen at the time. You know what I mean? Like, and then you were coming over to the ACL. Like I kind of knew of your name before that.
Yeah. Marketing's a huge part of it. Getting your name out there is not easy. And like we did talk about, like the people who hate you and love you, like you got to know how to take that early on.
Oh yeah.
We have been taking it for years.
We have a cornhole podcast. You know how much shit we get like all the time on Instagram and TikTok.
I think a lot of people, though, that is a big part of why they don't throw themselves out there is they're afraid to have that kind of backlash. And to be honest with you, I don't really read the comments anymore. No. I mean, I'll look at them for like a little while.
I can't tell you how freeing it is when you get to the point in your life where you just don't give a fuck what people say. Yeah. Like it just doesn't matter. You finally just get to a point, and I don't know if it's an age thing or you just have to go through a period in your life where you just don't care. Like I don't give a fuck. You can talk all the shit you want because I know like I could just go away from this and like end the show tomorrow, and my life is not affected in the least.
I think we're in the same boat. We all four of us have kind of said the same thing. We've said the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you could leave tomorrow and it's still, I still have a life, a whole life to live. I mean, I'm 25 years old. I haven't experienced anything yet, really. So I don't know. I think, a lot of it's marketing. I do think a lot of it's getting yourself out there.
I think as a newer player, you have to be open to doing anything and everything you can for the ACL, right? Like you have to be the ones who are getting up at 6:30 to go do an interview for like local news, or give up your own weekend to go fly somewhere to go do like when we were sponsored by Johnsonville to go do like a Johnsonville tour and like go hang out with college kids all day. And like, if you're not willing to put in like that extra work to do it, the extra work to get good at interviews, like the extra work to like put in for like practice on all of those things. Cause it does, you know what I mean? Like it's not natural for everybody and it's not natural like all of the time. And so you just really need to like put in all the extra
capitalize on opportunities.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like there's been only a few people in cornhole who have like been able to sustain success like repetitively year after year after year. So a lot of us like we see like these flash in the pans, like how well
just kind of
one name that to me that comes to mind, right? He's a sponsored player of ours, Jeremiah Ellis, has not done shit since the first 2 years, and I love the guy, and he's gonna listen to this and he's gonna message me after this. But he knows it's true.
Yeah.
But he did a phenomenal job marketing himself after those first 2. You know what I mean? Like you saw the rest of the year was fucking Believe and Ellie's were everywhere. And
Ellie's was like the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, so they did a great job of capitalizing. So even if he hasn't done anything this year, he still already has a fan base. His name is relevant in the league. You know, I just feel like there's so many people out there just missing an opportunity to kind of get their name out there. And now that it's getting cut down to 100, like you kind of missed your chance.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested. We'll get back to a listener question. Say, what do you guys really like? What is your honest opinion about having juniors in the game, like at the pro level? Do you think it should be a completely separate thing, or do you think it's a good thing as being pro players?
I've always been a big advocate of the juniors. I started this game when I was 16 years old. Was I a pro? No. But did I start my love for this game when I was 16 years old? Yes. Courtney and I were in the same boat, and neither of us would have had the same opportunities without being able to play in a league like that. But I think we've gotten so far now that if we're splitting off the women, it only makes sense to split off the juniors as well.
Yeah.
And it's your own league. There's so much talent among the juniors that you're still going to watch.
You would argue if you split it off, you would argue that the juniors bracket would be the one you don't want to go play in.
Oh, no, you don't want to go play. I don't think you want to play in the women's. You don't want to play in the juniors and you don't want to play in the seniors. They all have their own like things that are difficult about them.
100%.
You know, like the seniors, they're running bags with you all day. Like you're missing a bag, they're scoring 2, like guaranteed. The juniors, they've all got these innovative shots, and the women's, you don't want to play any of the women either. I mean, a lot of them have all of the above. So I think there's no reason to say that we couldn't split it off and still have it be even more successful than it is now, in my formal opinion. You had to plug my computer in.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Before it dies.
Just like disappeared.
Junior should be separate. As an educator, and I've said this before.
Yeah, because I think that's difficult for you.
Like morally, it's very difficult. Like to not want to encourage kids to play.
It's not encouraging.
I'm not
them,
saying. Yeah, I want them to continue to play at the pro level.
Kids a chance to compete against just other kids. I think it actually opens up even more opportunities for kids to join the sport.
Yeah, I think it opens up a whole different look. I think it looks kind of funny having like someone who's like 7 years old just beating people who are so much older. I think it's a weird look. I know that it's, anyone can play, anyone can win, but I think it's still anyone can play, anyone can win when you have juniors playing against juniors.
100%.
Yeah.
But I don't think that changes the motto or what we're trying to do as an organization. I still think that it's still that same goal, but I just personally think it looks better. And I think it's better to grow that juniors division, having juniors see other juniors succeed.
Well, as an educator, like I'm not an educator, but I've always had an issue. Like, should junior players be allowed at like these events, like where there's like alcohol can you like be playing against a dude that's like was just drinking or like doing whatever, like in the bathroom
I think it's hard in the game to also be able to call like a kid on like a rule or call a kid on, the distraction rule or stepping over the line, or if you want to get a bag check, do you call that on a kid? No. Like it is this big moral thing as a pro, especially because like we talked about brand, we talked about image. It is always going to look bad. Yeah.
If you're in a no-win situation.
There is a no-win situation. If you think like their bags are illegal or, they're stepping over the line or whatever, and you call an official, that is absolutely going to be on you no matter what. Yes. I've talked to multiple pros about this.
And on our show that following episode, and we'll have to talk about it because there will be several dramatic readings from it. because it
we've
happens
had
without
situations
fail.
where it's just like you want to say something and you're like debating, but you're like it's going to make you look bad, and then you talk to other people and you're like, oh, I had that same situation with that same team, and I said the same thing to myself and decided against it because they were kids.
Lori,
And
this
I've had
is
conversations-
Lori, this is no shot at you at all, but this is like what guy wrestlers feel when they have to wrestle a girl in high school.
Yeah.
So I've definitely said that before.
100%. Like that's what it felt like. I grew up with a girl who was a phenomenal wrestler in my area, and we wrestled right around the same weight. And my dad coached her brother, right? Her older brother. So he knew he was good. So we wrestled each other all the time. And luckily, fortunately, she was always one weight class below me. So like we never had to face it in tournament. But my dad would say the same thing. He's like, if they're out on the mat, like you treat them he's like, you treat them exactly how you treat any other guy. He's like, if they're lining up against you, they shake your hand, they want to kick your ass. Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be that guy? I'm like, yeah, but if I lose, like it's really bad. If I lose, but if I win, like I'm not gonna. It's like it sucked.
It's a no-win situation. If you win, great, you beat a kid. If you don't win, you got beat by a kid.
Correct.
There's nothing really. It's a no-win situation.
So
and she just has a hard time playing kids. So I'm always like, you got to play kids just as hard as we would play Tony and Mark. Like it's not any different.
100%.
Yeah, because they'll chew you up and spit you out.
100%.
I had a quick sidebar on our father though.
Oh yeah, please.
Just to give you guys a little insight to our upbringing, my favorite story of my father's wrestling days is him telling me about the time that he had to face the amputee.
Yeah.
And he just, he stepped up, and all he tells me is like, "Do you think I had any mercy?" It's like, "Fuck no, that's a tournament. You're there to win it." And he pinned him in like 7 seconds.
He's like, he only had one leg, so
he had one leg, and he was wrestling. Yeah, like so that that's a little insight into the.
Lori, do you still follow? Do you still follow wrestling at all?
A little bit,
like college or high school stuff at all?
Like high school stuff for sure.
Okay.
So the high school that I went to give you like a little bit of like a history lesson, with the largest women's team in the state, and probably in the country. We had 5 women in 1999, right? It was my freshman year.
Okay.
And one of the largest. So now and a lot of the kids that like I went to high school with, they all have kids or they're coaches now, or they have daughters on the team to where they have a full full girls team, and it's fantastic. So
yeah, women's wrestling is like one of the fastest growing sports in the country.
It has taken off.
You know what? Good for them. They didn't have to go through all the gross boy, you know what I mean?
It's 100%.
I mean, we went to an all boys high school that is basically the mecca of wrestling. Like St. Ed's.
Our dad and our grandmother are both in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. So like wrestling's been like a huge part of our our lives and stuff. Like, so it's cool.
I loved every second of it. Like cutting weight, like hitting the, you know what I mean, having to be in the gym at 5:30 in the morning every day, like all of those things. I'm glad I don't do it anymore.
Amen.
A viewer question, like, do you think that you could beat all these like professional cornhole players? No. Number one, I'm way too old for that. I don't think that, first of all, I'm not making weight anymore. Second of all, like I'm too old for that. My knees, my shoulders, like it's not going to happen. Right. But like, I would love to tell you that I could, but absolutely not. You guys,
if you throw your back out trying to wrestle somebody at a tournament, I'm not carrying you.
That's what I'm saying. Like you guys know exactly what it's like. You had to be in the top physical shape of your life to be able to do that, right? And obviously, like you want to think that you still can, but
I'm sore from golfing this weekend.
Yeah, it's so pathetic. So pathetic.
Life changes.
Yeah, dude. And wrestling's changed so much. Like over the years, like these guys are all so flexible now. Like I would have blown my hamstring out like 25 times if I was wrestling now. Like,
Sean's hamstrings are actually scientifically being investigated because they're only 4 inches long.
So sad.
They are the shortest hamstrings of all time.
That's
all right. Let me see. All right. So Stephen Witherspoon wants to know, how do you feel about the season going in? And then, I guess we kind of talked about this. And what are your thoughts about pro women going forward and the pro circuit getting cut down to 100? Like, were you guys pro the pro field getting cut down? Like, did you want it, or did you think it should stay the same?
I think going into it, I was cool with it. I mean, I didn't really see like an issue with it. I think the whole goal was like more pros getting paid. Like it was more like less of the bottom part of the pro division, like kind of footing their own bill basically. Yeah. So I guess I in my mind, that was how I was looking at it, was the 100, they're all theoretically going to get paid pretty well, like whether it's sponsorships or by the league or whatever. Like we really don't know. There's a lot of things that even as pros that we don't know. But I think it has really killed the vibe at tournaments, in my opinion. It feels like, and she said this, all credit to you. It feels like we're constantly playing a stack bracket sometimes, where it's like the vibes are just down here. Where before it was dog eat dog, cutthroat, everybody's trying to make that top 200 and whatever the number was, 256 or whatever it is now. And now it feels like some people, and even people that you would think that like they think like, oh, I'm totally making.
What do you mean the vibes are down? Like, do you mean like after they lose their first match, they know like,
no,
oh, I'm
mean
screwed?
in general, I feel like it from the beginning to the end.
Oh, like kind of like I have a no shot at making it anyways.
Yeah, I feel
like
a lot of people are going in with the I don't have a shot, which
really
I'm
okay.
so totally against. Like
okay.
You have a shot until you absolutely don't. Like until the buzzer sounds like you have a shot.
Okay.
And until you get to 21, you like until they get to 21, you have a shot.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are taking the opposite of that approach. And it just feels like in the room sometimes that there's just a lot of people who already feel like they're not going to make it. And I think it's bringing down the vibe. It's not bringing down my vibes, but it is bringing down the regular vibe.
Even at like signature number 3, there were so many people who came in and were like, oh, I'm not coming back next year. Oh, I'm retiring after this. Like, I'm not going to this tournament.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that tournament.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's stack bracket energy to where like people are just kind of like, they have like the I don't care vibe, which they like, they just kind of know like they're not going to make it, or like they just don't care to.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of killed the vibe a little bit. And I wasn't expecting that. I went into this season feeling like every single match, every point was going to be cutthroat, dog eat dog. And that's the way because I guess maybe that's the way I look at things. And I was thinking, if you are coming back, you are either paying all this money or working really hard to get sponsors, and you're representing your sponsors well. Like one would think that like everybody's fighting like hell to make that top 100.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people feel like they're already out of it. And it even felt that way at the first one, where I feel like some people just had it in the back of their mind that they weren't going to make it.
I would argue that it's just going to get worse then. Because if you
Yeah,
got off to a terrible
once
start
you
the first
start
2, you're
dropping down.
Yeah.
Like
100 happens, I feel like it'll be fine, because all those 100 people are going to be back to dog eat dog the way it has been. There, I would say a good like the bottom half are not. A lot of them are not in that mindset of I'm going to make it. So like a lot of them are just kind of in the middle vibes wise, and it's just kind of it's disappointing to see.
And that used to be the fun group.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guys that like they knew they weren't like a top 50 player, but they were gonna make the cut. Like, you know what I mean? Like we all felt like they were still fun. Like those were the ones that were great to go out with. And you know what I mean? Like they come in hungover and still go 4-2 on the day.
But it's also it's crappy to hear too, because like you only have to take what 4 out of the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you always have a shot. We all know that one run can make the difference. So like you always have that shot. I don't agree with that. Yeah.
I'm never going to leave a tournament and be like, or leave a game and it's 20-1. I never feel like there's not a shot. Like I know I've been in situations
100%.
where I've been down 20-0 and come back and won. And I think that we need more of that kind of energy rather than I'm out before I've even tried. And that kind of energy pisses me off when people are just like, oh, I'm just here.
Yeah.
I think especially because like those people are going to knock other people out that like could have made it and that do care and that do really want to make it. And that's kind of frustrating to just see. And it really sucks to see some of my favorite people just have that attitude and that mentality that they're not going to make it. And if it's I'm not coming back for whatever reason, cool. But the mentality of I'm not going to try because I'm not going to make it, absolutely, I can't stand it.
All right, well, here's your platform. Just name some names. That's fine. Just shout them out.
No. I mean, everybody's got like down vibes, especially if you lose a game. But
Yeah. I mean, it's shitty though, because like
to be honest with you.
mine and Sean's MO, like when the couple times that we do join a tournament is we're comeback kids.
Oh, yeah.
We never start out well, but we are notorious for being down like 15-0 and coming back and winning that thing. But honestly, anytime I step into a tournament, yeah, I'm not expecting to win, but I am still pissed when I lose. And like I'm doing everything I can in that moment to not lose.
Yeah.
No matter what. So it baffles me that there's some people that you get that vibe from. Like, I don't know. I just don't have that in my my
It's
blood,
not
even though like
desperate.
deep down I know
Oh, yeah.
that I don't have the skills because I play this game like once every like 3 weeks if I'm lucky right now. So like I understand that, but like at the same time, like I'm never just willing to give up. Like that's just not
Yeah.
the way to. How do you
It's
even
not
attack
desperate.
life that way? Fuck that.
We've sat around a nice round table yesterday talking about it with some of the top pros in the country, and just that I feel like we're all kind of in the same consensus of like some people's vibes are way down, and it's kind of killing the mood.
Yeah,
It's killing the mood of the tournament, man. Like I want that feeling of like this is the Masters on Sunday, like, and you've got it. You're within a shot, like something. But
Yeah.
bring the magic. Like that's where it is. When like you can taste it. That to me is the magic. And that's what keeps you coming back. It's what keeps you going after that trophy. And I feel like some of the magic is disappearing because the people aren't caring.
So, Papa Coy here, he asked a question. I want to change. I want to change it just a little bit. All right, because we kind of already talked about it a little bit. Is there any allure for players in, like, let's say that if you guys didn't qualify, right, and you guys have an option to do like the ACL like pro women's, or would it be better for you guys because the prize pools aren't going to be crazy, or it'd be better for you guys just to go after like these large independent large prize pool type tournaments?
There's always a lure with like the large prize pool stuff. We've played in plenty of the large prize pool tournaments, gone and won. I personally, for me, and even the way I felt this weekend, it's not, when it comes to the women's stuff, it's not about the money to me.
Okay.
It's more about the feeling of winning and that trophy coming home with me.
That's
like,
okay.
It's to me, and I described it as a cupcake today. Like the hate and the BS is the wrapper. All the stuff you have to go through is the wrapper on the cupcake. Just got to get through it to get to the good stuff. The money is the boring cupcake, and the icing that everybody loves, which is the only part that I used to eat as a kid, is all the feeling and all of the magic that you get from winning and from being one of the best. So yes, do I think I would continue to still play? Yes. And I think that everybody should. And it's bound to, the money is bound to show up, in my opinion. I think that the league is doing a lot of things. They're heading in the right direction more and more each year. There have been years in the past where in 2019 and 2020, where there were women's tournaments for nationals worth $10,000 a piece.
Yeah.
That day is bound to show up for us. And just like we talked with the juniors division and how big that could get, I don't see how the women's division couldn't just explode. I understand we really do all have to stick around, even if, it's not the payouts that we want or whatever it may be. I think if we all stick around and we keep grinding it out, it's bound to blow up.
And that's kind of the hard part, is that we're still like in the infancy stages of everything. So it's just like, how many people are still going to be around 5-10 years from now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and is it still going to be a
It's
thing?
very true.
I think it's going to depend on how many of you guys stick around. It's going to determine how successful this thing is in the long run. And
So, I mean, who's to
you
say,
guys are
like,
the pioneers. I mean, all of you guys
Yeah,
that are
I mean,
pros right now really are like setting the roadblocks.
5 years from now, there could be it could be 100 pro field plus 100 women's field. Like, like women's pro. Like, I think it could
I think that's
very well
it's
see
headed.
that.
I think that's great. The women have always gotten a lot of views. We've always done what we can to bring eyeballs and butts and seats.
Yeah.
So I don't see why it wouldn't continue to be that way, whether we're quote unquote a separate division or not. I don't think it would really change that at all. So I think, as long as we head in the right direction with the payouts and the marketing and the priority, as long as we're still getting a modicum of priority, yeah, I think it's going to be great. So, I think it just depends on sponsorships too. I mean, it's
100%.
It's all going to depend on things like that. But do I think I see myself and or Lori walking away when we're at pretty much the top?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah,
and you
to
guys
me,
are fortunate. You guys have a pretty decent sponsor.
Yeah.
It's true. Very, very
Mike's
true.
all right.
Some would say the best.
Some would say
Some.
the best.
So
Some
Mike would say the best.
Yes.
Mike would say the best.
I would also say the best. We are very, very, very fortunate.
He's a good
and very
dude.
lucky, if you will.
Yes, he's very dude. All right, so Samuel Martinez, we got to give his question. All right, what was the move after winning a doubles championship? How did you guys celebrate?
We went out for dinner and split a cheeseburger.
Where'd you guys go for dinner?
First of all, and you
So
told
what-
me to number one.
Whatever.
What
I
kind of
mean,
cheeseburger?
I eat a plain cheeseburger and I can't eat it all, especially after we've been playing all day. I'm tired. All right.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
kinda-
Metabolism shut
But-
down, and yeah.
I'm like, my adrenaline is now at 0. Okay. Like I'm ready to either like one of two things: drink, party, have a good time, and or go to bed. And she has trained me very well. My bedtime is early now. Okay. Never that it was that late, but it's early now. And we went out. I was driving, so after we were done playing and everything, I wasn't drinking or anything. I drove us to dinner. We went with our very good friend Bob Bronson and Anthony Ione and all of our awesome guys that were supporting us, Omar and all of his friends. So it was very fun. But we did split a cheeseburger that was medium and not medium well.
Well, it should have been medium rare, so you guys
Yes.
ordered wrong from the get go.
I like my stuff well done. Don't hate. All right.
Oh, you're like my wife. Like my wife is like, she wants it like burnt and then shot a few times and like
Yeah,
put
I mean,
it
I
back
just-
on.
I just
and
like
then it's like-
things-
The hockey puck. That's like I want it to be done. It can be slightly pink.
Where are you originally from?
Illinois.
Okay, yeah, you're
Yeah,
okay,
Midwest. I
makes
get
sense, yeah.
that.
I
Yeah.
want it to be slightly pink, not totally pink.
Yeah, sorry.
The lady.
Lori, are you medium rare? Is that your choice? Or you?
medium is fine. Even like medium well would have been okay. But like
You
I'm
just said medium well, but it came out
Sharp.
like medium-ish.
I also don't want to eat hockey pucks. She doesn't put anything else on it. So it was like the driest cheeseburger I think I've ever had.
I think I took 2 bites because it wasn't done well enough. I think you took 2 bites because it was too done and kind of gross. And we both like ate the heck out of some fries. But yeah, we sat and we had really good conversation with Anthony and Bob and everybody.
How was the venue out there?
It was great.
Was
I
it
loved
nice?
the venue. Yeah. It was actually really nice. The facilities and the staff and security were awesome.
Okay.
Super, super great people. So
Sweet.
We thought
So
we were going to be back in the bubble like we were last year.
yeah, I was so
And-
surprised.
It was also a really nice venue and it was brand new, but it was so windy last year when we were there that like all the lights in the bubble were like swaying
Were
back
moving.
and forth with motion sickness.
Yeah.
So I was really not looking forward to having to be back there. And
So when
luckily
we rolled up, like I'm like down the street, I'm like, dude, we're not headed. I'm like, I don't recognize any of this. And I'm like pretty good with like remembering things like that, like just random stuff. I always remember where the car is parked. Like I remember things. And I was like, dude, we're either headed to the wrong address or like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, please don't be the wrong address. We pull up. I'm like, no, this is the right building. I'm like, guess we're not playing in the bubble. And she was like, thank God.
Yeah.
So was the bubble like Canton, Ohio?
Yeah, it was like Canton,
Okay.
but like bigger, like
Okay.
way bigger.
okay.
So then when you looked up, it was 3 rows of like swaying lights. And I remember one day we had done really well, or I had done really well in the shootout singles bracket. And so I was like partying, having a good time. And I remember I was like sitting on the ground and I just looked up and I looked back down and everything started to spin. And I was
It's like, oh, no.
awful.
Dang it.
You know,
Aim for the one in the middle.
don't love that.
Yeah. It was
But we got
crazy
lucky.
windy.
Yeah, the I think it's like NOCO or like Northern. I think it's supposed to be like Northern California or not Northern. It's
Colorado.
Northern Colorado. You're right. Northern Colorado facility. It was awesome and everybody was great. So.
Oh yeah. So last listener question, Eric Sherney. He said, ask Lori about some of the better favorite ACL Pro jokes she had.
Oh, I love this one.
Okay, so how this all started is that the ACL had asked like some of the pros to like start doing like TikToks and videos and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
And I started making ACL Pro jokes. Okay, like not like making
Dad
fun,
jokes.
like dad jokes, like not making fun of anybody. Like the people who were spotlighted, like really loved it, and it was great. But people were so mean. Like it's
You
one
got a
thing.
lot of hate, which was crazy.
It was like it was one thing to be like mean on the internet, which like whatever, right? Everybody's a keyboard warrior, but it was another thing that like in the middle of games, people would come up to me and they would be like, "You're not funny. Like you're not going to be a comedian." Like I'm not trying to become a comedian. I just like dad jokes. Like right, I was a high school teacher for a really long time. I still put up jokes like on my board every day.
I get a
because,
dad joke a day at least.
like,
Oh,
the kids
really?
like, right? So like that's what it is. Like you gotta like you just gotta find like your thing, and that's my thing. So with ACL jokes. Like one of them was like about Adam Hissner. It was who's the Snake's favorite ACL pro, right? Adam Hissner. Right? Like they're dumb. They're so
Yeah.
dumb. And,
I love that shit. That's great.
What was there was one that was, like really the electrician one. Like who's an
Oh.
electrician's favorite ACL pro?
So
There were 2 answers. Now there's only one because only one of them are in the league
right,
anymore.
like Jordan Power or like Tiffany Sparks was around back then.
Yeah.
So like they're just dumb. And again, like it's not hateful towards like the you know what I mean, like the pro. And it just like it was just supposed to be funny. And I would drop them every Friday, and I think I got like 2 or 3.
What was the one that you did with did you do it for Chris Pooch or you did one with no, it was Duncan Clemmer.
It was who's a basketball player's favorite ACL pro.
Duncan Clemmer.
Duncan Clemmer, right?
Yeah.
Like
And they all thought they were so funny. And
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate of like market yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
I was pushing. I'm like, oh my gosh, make these videos. They're gonna be so funny, and it kind of blew up in my face because she got a lot of hate. But I still thought it was really funny.
Okay,
And
you have to go completely deadpan.
Yeah.
And just know that outside of the cornhole community, you're gonna get hate, right? So any video we've ever had viral, all the comments that people post are like, "Can you believe these idiots actually care about cornhole?" And I used to respond, but now I'm just like, listen, that's just 10 cents. Thank you,
Yeah.
10 cents. All right, thank you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you're gonna share your favorite that. All right,
Yeah,
that's 25
all right,
cents.
hey,
Like, thank
there
you
we
very
go.
much. Like, hey, thank you very much. Like,
I
Keep it rolling.
100% get it, but it was interfering with what was going on in like the tournament because people would interrupt my games.
Oh yeah, it
to,
was kind
like
of crazy. Yeah.
harass me about it.
yeah, but
And so
people would know
it
you
got
though.
to the point where it
Yeah.
wasn't worth it.
All right, fair enough. All right. We
There's-
might have to
you've
start
still got
this.
time
I
to
know.
think.
This.
Might make a reappearance. I'm pushing, man.
We need to start doing more skits because like we've had a few ideas. We just need to come up with time. We just
Yeah.
never have
I
time to
got
do it.
roasted in a skit this weekend. I don't know when that comes out. I'm deathly terrified.
I can't wait.
I guess they did the second part of like pulling old pictures of people.
Oh, really?
My mother, or it
I
might be
can't
my
wait to
dad.
see it. I can't wait to see it.
Some of my parents like Facebook pictures that are still out there.
Nice.
I have one of me with like a very bad haircut. I cut my own hair when I was
I
kid,
can't
and
wait
they
to see
caught me like right after a game.
I'm
I mean,
using
I
that
was
picture for
awful.
like the team big ass.
Yeah.
It was so interesting, and they were like, "Oh, like we think you should look at all this attitude you have. You should bring this haircut back." And I was like, "Oh my!" I had bangs. It was bad.
Somebody asked a question about who it takes longer to do their hair in the morning.
I was trying to no. That's such a lie. I take like now if I curl it like really really well, like we're going on TV, it's probably gonna take me like 34.
Is your hair naturally straight?
No, I'm not really. I have like wave in it, but it's like
Okay.
poofy. But she always taught me like, you always put yourself in the same packaging. She taught me a lot about branding. It's great. Like you don't go to the store and see like a Twinkie in a different package, or you don't see a bag of chips in a different package.
Yeah,
So,
True,
like,
unless it's like a
True,
special
yeah.
holiday or something.
Unless it's Miller
yeah,
Lite,
you
then can change that
continually
can.
package yourself the same way.
Yeah.
And that was really smart. And I was like, you know what? That is smart. I don't love getting up at 6 a.m. ever, but I've now got it down. Like if I'm just curling it, it's a regular day.
Beauty
like,
is pain. All right, we understand.
15 minutes, it's
Okay.
done.
Listen, just
The makeup
enjoy
takes
having
longer.
hair. All right, some of us don't have that luxury.
that's very
all right?
true.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm losing
Hair is
everything.
fleeting.
A couple of better tools than I do, so hers is quicker, and that's not exactly fair. So
And I say this, and I feel like I've said this in every interview because people still come after me, like not as much anymore, but like this is my real hair. It's all
This is
real.
my real
It's attached to a hat. Like that's not how it works, right? Like
I still love that. The whole it's not attached to it.
Can you
I
please?
remember
Can we
thinking-
attach like black hair to like the buffalo hat next time? And like that would be
Please.
funny.
well,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people who do. That's just like that's not. This is. Real.
I think that would be
It
kind of
is-
funny. Like we put it on Ron, and he like shows up.
We have to get like a bald cap for you somehow, and like
Yeah.
just put it all on, and then you take the cap off.
Yeah.
Like, the rumors are true.
It's true.
No, I think it's so funny. I get it. I have gotten accused before that like my hair is fake too. It's all there, babe. You can run your hands. Don't run your fingers through it.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say,
Well, you
yeah.
just
Ask
you
first
almost
or
gave
something.
there are
permission.
people
Yeah.
that do. I've gotten some weird people that are like, "Ooh, love your hair," and it's just like they come at me with it, which is weird. But like, okay,
Yeah, who
I guess.
touches your
What do you
hair?
think?
That's weird. All right, so
Yeah,
actually,
no,
I
I mean,
came up with a dad joke in the moment while we were all sitting
Oh,
here.
I'm
when we were
excited.
going through.
All right, this is
so,
good. That's right up your
all right,
wheelhouse.
so who do you call for your slippery floor situation?
Megan Moppin.
The
We
mat. That's a good one.
That was a great one. That's such
But
a
I
good
was
one.
actually going to go with the mat guy.
Not Matt Wilson.
Matt
Is it
guy.
The mat guy.
The Matt guy.
Well, this guy.
Matt
the Matt
guy.
guy.
Right?
Yeah,
Matt guy.
Was
Matt
that-
Wilson, he was,
Yeah,
the
decent.
janitor.
You
I
had one of You had one about Matt Guy too at one point.
I
We at one point we're going down the list. Like we just pulled up the standings
God,
and we're
that's-
making up.
That would be
Like-
like my favorite job ever.
You could go real deep in the cornhole one with Brett guy and do like, who owns Brotherhood Cornhole? That Brett guy. But it's not just because you hate it.
There's definitely some. You've got some in the tank that are very good.
Yeah.
The Adam Hissner one I think was the first.
Oh,
one
dude, that's my favorite. I love that one.
And Adam thought it was funny.
Oh hell yeah, he's corny as
You
shit.
do, yeah.
Yes.
Like again, like it wasn't like trying to throw shade on anybody.
No,
I
it's
remember
simple, clean jokes.
you
It's funny,
posting
yeah.
that actually. Like as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember laughing at that. Like that was a good one.
Again, like they were just so stupid.
I have a dad jokes calendar at work. Like that's how I keep track of my days. So
Does not shock me.
I don't have one of those.
Oh,
but
you
I
definitely need one. They're
Or birthdays.
fantastic.
So we're gonna do our favorite new segment of the show. All right. So we do a draft with all of our guests, right? And then we post the results on Facebook and people vote on who won the draft. All right.
Yeah.
So we do 5 rounds and there's going to be a topic. I'm going to tell you guys a topic and we're going to pause for 5 minutes so you guys can kind of think and do some homework.
Formulate, yes.
All right, because it's only fair because we've always let the guests know ahead of time. Dane told me as I was coming down the stairs what the topic was going to be. Came up with it today.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it was a
Oh, I'm
listener
sorry. No.
question,
I'm sorry. It was
actually.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan came up with this one.
So-
that's right. You came up with another one.
Yeah.
But the one we're doing today, all right, is best dog breeds.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna pause and we'll be back in just a second.
Okay.
Okay.
best dog breeds.
We need 5.
And now we're good. Okay. So all right. So we're back. Preparation has been done. Dane has pre-established the draft order. He just let us know. So Dane took it upon himself.
I just typed in names.
To clarify, I was determined the winner of last week's draft. Okay.
Like in this small little group here,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I won.
I'm
The only
sorry.
people
I'm
voting
going to
on it
ask
so
the
far.
mass public
I will
because
post it. I will post it.
I hit one banger. I think it was kind of seals the deal at the.
What do you
the
think your
tail end
banger
of mine.
was?
I think it was
Coffee?
that. I think it was that sausage biscuit, bro. At the end, they're
I
at
will put
every single
I
hotel.
will put a cinnamon roll up against a Jimmy Dean sausage biscuit any day of the week.
I understand, but I also have muffin
you get
earlier.
cereal
And
apple
muffin,
juice.
you could get like an apple streusel muffin or something to get your cinnamon on. You're fine. Like, all right, like it's covered the bases. Like,
I'm very confident in my group, so I will post it. So
that's
we'll
fine.
see. Anyways,
You know.
all right, sorry. So the order for this week.
so yours is one of those that's like once on the lips, forever on the hips type deals. all
Yeah,
right?
well, mine, you're definitely coming out of it with diabetes. Like, I'm not claiming you're not. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, it's gonna happen. Like, I'm just saying, I'm trying to
get
put
my-
together a
I'm trying
delicious
to get my
list.
day going.
All
All right.
Fair enough. All right, so
Sorry, that's a sidebar conversation. It's all right.
the current order for this week, and we're doing greatest dog breeds is Miranda, then Lori, then Dane, and then I'm bringing up the rear.
Yeah, because
the
I was
fourth pick.
blessing you with back to
Fair enough.
backs.
No,
Right
sorry,
off
I
the
would have
rip,
probably
right?
taken that. It's fine. All right, so Miranda, who is the first? What's the number one dog breed? You get the number one overall pick.
Dachshund.
Dachshund. Oh, all right. I like
Okay.
it. Okay. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going wiener dog.
Wiener dog,
Number
yes,
one
correct.
Wiener
overall.
dog. They could be mini standard or.
I
big.
do agree. Yes, we need to. I'll give you all those because as now, if we do not like one of her picks, all right, Lori, we are the three of us are a panel. We can decide to cross off. I do agree, though. I think you get all of them. I think you get long hair, short hair.
Yeah, we're going.
mini- yeah, you get the whole kind of group
There's
with that.
plenty out
That's
there.
a big
that-
win. That's
Yeah.
a big win.
It is,
for
For
Miranda.
sure.
100%.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you-
100%. I will give you that. And for the record, I spelled it correctly
You did.
right off the
I
rip.
did.
You did. I just
So
I didn't.
that is.
I wish. Could you share your? I mean, part of the entertainment sometimes has been just watching Dane type stuff. In, like, so you
I
share
was
Okay.
wrong, and I've only had dachshunds my entire life.
Have you really?
Yeah.
They're cute. They
yeah,
are cute. I'll
I
give you
do.
that.
I do love
They
them.
got long legs, or they got.
They
little
just
legs.
have health
Um,
issues. That's my only issue. They get bad backs, and
You just gotta take care of them. You can't have them jumping off of stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
they're
Sean,
very needy.
Jeez,
Very
this is
needy.
very needy.
Very needy.
Your dog,
All right.
All right, Lori.
Lori, pick number 2.
All right, I'm going the most obvious. I think I'm going golden retriever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean the
it's-
tried and true American cookie cutter.
Yeah.
That's our next dog. She's
Yep.
steal it off your list.
It's definitely like my wife's go-to.
so cute, and they're fluffy. Every time I see one in public, I'm like,
That's gonna be our next one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I have something against it. Like
Right.
I just don't. I want an oddball dog against the grain. But my number one pick here.
I know what yours number one has to be.
What do you think it is?
I'm not gonna tell you. You pick it.
They're
Why would I tell you your pick? You just tell me. And
I'm going with like the public opinion and what I see most out
Oh,
in the
you're
world.
going for the vote. You're not going with your true
and a dog that I think I'm actually looking
It's
at
fine. You just
myself.
go to the masses. It's
But I'm
fine,
gonna go.
man.
I'm gonna go French Bulldog.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
that's
gonna
kinda surprising.
throw that
Okay.
in there.
Interesting. All right.
when they got the squished faces, they're very cute.
Yeah.
They are. But
We grew up with Boston Terriers and various other dogs, so which might be
Yes.
some of my picks. So
oh, of course. All right, Shawnee.
my first pick.
So
has
you got
to
back
be,
to back here.
Yeah, my first pick has to be Labrador Retriever. Has to be like it's just a broad pick.
like you
it's
talk about like. Are you talking about like Labradoodle
No.
or
Labrador
like a lab,
Retriever.
like a
lab.
Labrador?
A lab, not a Labradoodle.
You
No,
want
a lab.
You want just
He's
standard?
He's just trying to. You know my pick, and you're just pissed as a strong pick. All right, it's a great pick. It's probably the most that and Golden Retriever are probably the two most popularly owned dogs
Definitely
in the
spelled
country.
something wrong in there, but I'm just moving on.
You
'cause-
did. It's all right. I'll let it go.
I'm sorry. All right, all right. For the record, my typing is bad because I'm used like my work computer's a different keyboard. I'm on a Mac now. I work on Windows at work. It's just I type way more.
I don't.
On that.
I'm torn
not
on my.
easy.
I'm torn on my second pick because I don't know if I want to give it to you or if I want to take it because I know it probably won't get back to me in round 3. So or do I just go with what I want? So I'm going to go with what I want. I'm going to see if it comes back.
Okay.
All right. And I will take it if it comes back. I'm going to go with English Bulldog for this one.
Yeah.
English Bulldogs are near and dear to our heart. We grew up with English Bulldogs and Boston Terriers our whole life. Love them. It's the better version of the French Bulldog.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just going like popularity wise. You
Yeah,
just
it-
see way more Frenchies out
I
there
get
in
it.
the world, and it's just
Strong start.
for health reasons. And stuff,
A lab
you
and
know,
English
they-
Bulldog strong
They
start.
go that. Now I'm gonna go a little more of the. I'm gonna go a little more of the badassery route.
I knew you
now.
were gonna do- all right.
And I'm gonna take the German Shepherd. All right, I think it's a very popular breed.
All right.
Very big in families, and my dog is part German Shepherd.
Now,
So
would you, if you were knowing that I had lab, would you still have gone German Shepherd with me?
yeah, I was gonna take labs.
No, I would. My pick was between German Shepherd and English Bulldog.
Oh, for that one,
Yeah.
yeah. English Bulldog was definitely gonna
Hey,
come off the
She's
board.
cheating over here. Teacher, she cheating. Look at my
You
list.
kept it all the way out front.
Well, hey, that's
Lori.
not cheating. That's just wandering eyes.
Yeah,
all right,
correct.
she
Lori.
knows she's a teacher. Lori, what'd you pull off
It's
that
a
list?
skill, by the way, if you're a student.
Listen, if I'm not cheating, I'm Miranda.
Hey.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. All right,
Amen.
Bill Belichick.
Exactly. I'm not at least.
He calls you Bill Bill.
No, I just said that's a phrase from him. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's literally a quote from him
You could.
in a press conference. All right.
So I am gonna go with my number one favorite of all time, Pug. I had a Pug mix, and he was so cute. And
He was a cocker pug.
He was a cocker spaniel pug.
My parents have a pug rat terrier, so it's basically just a tiny,
A little
it's
tiny
4 pound
yeah,
ball of
she's adorable.
fat. Yeah,
He had that big old like chunky body with
Oh,
the
yeah.
curly tail, like
Yeah.
nothing will ever top that.
and she's
I
like the most. It's like the most. Like I look at it all the time, and like I joke with it all the time. Like you is somewhere in you is the DNA of a wolf. Like think
And
about
this
that.
is-
Like that's
this
how
is where
bred
you're
down
at
that
now.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look at that thing, it's like how
And
pathetic
I'm
is
like,
that?
you couldn't beat a squirrel if it came up against you.
Dude,
Like
it's
you'd be in
crazy.
trouble.
Yeah, big spider might take it out.
She befriends all big dogs for a reason. She's very good at it.
All right, Miranda, you get back-to-back picks here.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then my next one.
What's
is gonna
going on
be
with the
Great
wiener
Dane.
dog? Oh my God, that's such a good pick.
I'm sorry, I missed it. What
the
was it?
Great Dane.
Oh, Great Dane. Yeah.
I like how you
Dang
go
it.
with a wiener dog and then a Great Dane. Like
They're
that's just
so
great.
derpy. They
You
like
know
have,
how salty I am that you took my own namesake?
I thought for sure you were gonna take him second round though.
No, I was waiting. I thought that
Oh,
was
no,
coming
man, you
back to
can't.
me.
No, that's
so,
too
I mean,
popular,
thank you
I
for
think.
taking him when he
Yeah.
deserved to go.
Oh, for sure.
But I literally thought he was going to fall
I
back. My
almost took
wife
him
and
a second
I
round, too.
were this close to adopting a Great Dane that needed a home, and her family shunned us from doing it, saying it was too big of a dog, even though she was the sweetest dog. We
They
met
are
her
so
in
sweet.
person, and I'm like, I could take you home right now, and you would be.
You should have just done it.
We really should have, because
Yeah.
honestly, she was so sweet. So Daisy, if you're out there, I highly doubt it, because this was 7 years ago, and
She
you
come
were
hang
already
on
2.
she can come hang out on Uncle Sean's.
Yeah, but yeah.
downside, they don't live forever.
I already
I know
got
that
a
is a
dog.
downside, but
Yeah.
maybe next one. It's all right. We're gonna get there. All right, back to backs. What you got?
I'm go- Oh, I gotta look at my list.
Don't let
Yeah.
Laura see.
Yeah,
Lori
don't-
looking
don't
over.
let Lori
Lori's
see.
looking.
Well, this is the last
Speaking-
one.
It's all right.
This is a dog I want in the future. She said
Ooh.
she'll never visit me if I get one, but if I am ever living alone, I want a Doberman.
Oh,
Okay.
they're beautiful dogs.
They're
Ooh.
beautiful, and I don't think any dog is a bad
Is it
dog.
that
It's all
easy?
about how you train them. So
100%. And there's
Doberman.
something about when you walk a Doberman, like no one's gonna fuck with you.
yeah,
Very true. Well, if you clip the ears, if not, they just look like sweet little puppies.
And you could totally walk around with like a Doberman and just pretend like you're like German or Russian and
Yeah.
just don't understand English and like no
But
one's gonna
like
ever
dead
talk to you.
serious, my like down the street from us has a Doberman without the ears clipped.
Dude.
That dog like looks.
Oh, the most
It's
so
completely
wimpy.
different.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think it was like unless it's like recommended, I would like clip their ears, but or if like I adopted one.
It's just
Yeah.
an aesthetic thing. That's all.
Yeah,
it
no,
is.
honestly, like
Yeah.
he's actually a very sweet dog too. So like
Oh,
my,
yeah,
my
they're
dog,
I told
my
them how
dog
you
and him
treat
have
dogs.
100%.
crossed paths and they're good.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, it's all about who raises them, honestly. Lori,
All right.
what are you coming
Another-
back with?
Go with the boxer.
Boxer, nice.
Oh, I
yeah,
don't like you right now.
that's a good one. That is a good one.
Oh, I got my last pick. I hope nobody takes this. 'Cause I don't
Well, you
any
still
other
have 2 picks, so hopefully you don't have like one last one. Yeah, I mean that's definitely Boxer was on the short list for me, so I gotta do a little bit of research here. Let's see.
I might.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in now. Give me Siberian Husky.
Ooh, good one.
That's a
They're
good one.
pretty.
They're very pretty and see them a lot around in our area. A lot of people have Huskies. Pretty popular dog breed out here because I mean we just have enough cold that they can manage. All right, Shanae, what you got?
All right. I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Like, what do I want to go with? Like the breeds that I love, or do I think that people are going to vote for? I'm gonna go. I have one, so I have to I'm gonna go pit bull.
Well, she has like a fraction of pit bull. in
She's
her.
like pit bull, Jack Russell Terrier.
Interesting mix.
I mean, she looks like Wishbone.
Do you
Do
remember
you
the
guys
kids
know
show
that?
Wishbone?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, my
She
dog
looks
is
like
like
Wishbone.
If Wishbone
Literally
was on
has
steroids,
the same like you're almost the same like paw print
Yeah.
pattern. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, if you put Wishbone on steroids, that's what my dog.
She's
looks
a very
like.
cute
She's just
puppy.
Yeah, and then for the next one, I'm gonna go with. They're a bunch of my friends have always had them, and I think they're great dogs. And I think they've always kind of gotten like a bad rap for whatever reason. But I'm gonna go with Rottweiler.
Okay, yeah, Roddies for sure.
That's 2 good picks right back to back. I like that.
Yeah, and they're two misunderstood
Yeah,
dogs.
the
you know what I mean?
misunderstood
Like,
ones, kind of like Sean.
Yeah.
just
100%.
misunderstood.
Misunderstood. The
Go after heavyweights here in my lineup.
podcast tonight is misunderstood. Yeah.
All right, Dane.
Oh man, it's there's still a lot on the board. So like when you breeze through it, it's hard. It's like what do I want to pick and what will the people enjoy?
I'm trying to like look at our teams. Like if you had to put the dog breed as like a basketball lineup, like it'd be kind of funny.
It would be
Like
very funny.
Dane's
But
kind of got his
They're
point
fun.
guard a little bit. He's got his small forward for sure, and probably his power forward, and now he's got his point guard.
yeah. So I went with I think kind of the public opinion here, but I'm
Corgi.
gonna go Corgi.
Okay.
I think it's a very popular puppy out there, like hilarious to kind of see run around, much like a dachshund. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Corgi.
Lori.
All right. I'm going with another movie fan favorite. Going with Beethoven, and I'm going with the Saint Bernard.
Saint Bernard,
a good
nice.
You just don't see him that often. You know what I mean? I'm-
Actually, one of my sorority sisters has one, and it is like the cutest dog.
Oh, I'm
ever.
sure.
Yeah, there's
they're
one
great
down the
dogs.
street from
Yeah.
us, and I actually kind of feel bad for it because I only ever see them like walk it up the street and back,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that dog can actually venture out for
They're
a
mountain
very long.
dogs. They're
Yeah,
supposed
they
to
can
be.
go
Let them
for
roam.
miles. Like
Yeah.
you should be able to take that thing over hills and mountains.
I don't know if I could ever have one because they're so big, right? And like I've heard horror stories of like when they shake their head, the drool's like hanging off of the ceiling.
Yeah, but when they lay down, guess what? Bonus bed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying.
True.
All right, Miranda, you're actually back to back and closing out your top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I only have one currently. I'm still
Okay.
thinking.
Well, you could still reel. Just gotta banter in between.
And I'm pissed.
You're welcome.
I had one of these in college, and he's still one of my favorite dogs, an Australian Shepherd.
Oh, that's a good
Nice.
pick.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
I'm thinking basketball now that you said that.
Dude, like
so
you have a point guard, you have a shooting guard now. You already had a center and a power forward, or a shooting, or a small forward.
I got speed on my squad now.
You do, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, because like
I don't know. I know it's a dumb way to look at it. I was just looking at my team. I'm like, I don't have a point guard. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So it's just a bunch of beef.
I like that fat, like rec basketball team.
Tell me what mine is, because then you'll take it.
No, I wasn't gonna take it, you dick. All right, I'll go aggressive again. Oh wait, no. Oh, a Staffy, a Stafford Terrier. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, they're so cute. They have the cutest big heads, and like they look like kitties, but they're not.
Yes.
Yeah, a Staffy, and write it just like that, a Staffy. That's what I was googling that. I googled what looks like a pitbull but not a pitbull.
See why I'm not cheating off of her? Did you see this?
What dog is a pitbull but not?
I thought you were gonna go like I'm
on
not even gonna
TikTok
say it
it
because I mean there's so many left. I don't want to sway any
I was gonna
decisions.
go
We'll save
Cane
it for the
Corso,
end.
But I feel like that was too aggressive. But I do love a Cane Corso.
I don't know who Connie is. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually a good pick. It's a fairly popular breed actually. It's on my top 50 provided by my Chat GPT.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was gonna say it though.
Lori.
All right, so my last one, I'm gonna go with. This is a dog that this wonderful young gentleman that I dated back in college. He had one border collie.
Oh, okay.
And
Lassie.
that dog's name was Lincoln, and it started a whole thing. I only name my dogs after presidents after that. So with Lincoln and then Jackson Kennedy.
Nice.
Who's the next one?
Kennedy
Donald?
I feel like we should just say Kennedy, and I don't care
Barack. You going Barack on the next one or Donald?
Barack or Donald on the next one.
What?
Barack or Donald on your next
Neither
dog.
one. Neither one.
Monroe, I think is good.
Monroe was.
That's a
gonna
good
be-
one.
I wanted Kennedy and Monroe at the same time, even though they're both presidents. It's kind of like adds like a whole nother.
Well, I thought
layer.
Kennedy and Monroe was good because Kennedy is like named after JFK. And so I was thinking, Marilyn Monroe, but she's thinking the president.
Yeah, but then if they're kind of like siblings, then you know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird.
Whatever.
He slept with both the brothers, so I think
That's true. I mean, yeah, correct. They're like Eskimo brothers at that point. Yeah, I mean,
My current dog is supposed to be Rosie, and I got her in 2017, so it was before I started playing cornhole. And I'm kind of really glad that I didn't name her Rosie after.
That would have been weird.
Like FTR, because obviously like Rosie Stricker kind of weird. So good thing.
it would be kind of funny if you brought the dog that like Rosie, sit.
you do take her to cornhole, so there would be opportunity.
For sure.
That's where she's right now.
Dane, what's your last pick here?
I'm actually going to go with one that's just always struck my eye whenever I see it. I think it's a beautiful dog.
Don't do it.
Little bit of temperament there, but people that usually get them know how to handle it. But I'm going to go with a Wyman Rider.
Damn it. All right.
Um,
It's my favorite.
They're
I think
just
it's
like-
if I had any pick, I would love to get it. I think they're the coolest looking
yeah,
dog.
whenever
A
you see
silver
them, man,
dog.
they just kind of stop you in your tracks. Like
Correct.
they are always stunning whenever
I
you
think
see
every
them.
dog stops me in my track. Sometimes I don't know that I don't notice that the dog is attached to a person. I'm just like, oh my god, a dog! Yay! Like I will run after any dog.
I'm actually shocked that we have the same, like, that was forever going to be my fifth pick.
Yeah.
Like, I was just kind of I'm surprised that was like our eighth.
It's always been my so.
Yeah, they're gorgeous
when I was
dogs,
when
man.
me and Val were talking about getting dogs, I would like them. But first of all, they're crazy expensive, and I
Yeah.
realized like how much activity they need. I'm
and
like,
they are,
it's not going to be. Good
yeah, they're
for-
super like
townhouse, yeah.
temperamental and shit. Yeah,
Correct.
it's nuts.
So the other dog that I think is beautiful, and my wife's like parents, like they had neighbors that had one, and it was
Yeah.
just like a great dog, and it's just I've kind of fell in love with that breed. It's a German short haired pointer. pointer.
Okay, yeah.
They're great. They're
dogs.
beautiful dogs, and they're so gentle, and like they're awesome. I was good, like special shout out to Boston Terrier. I was going to go that, but like I already had English Bulldog. I know you had French Bulldogs, probably.
Yeah.
Boston Terrier is like still one of my favorite breeds.
Yeah, they're great dogs, but another one with health issues and stuff. So like,
All right, so let's recap.
all right,
the
yeah.
list.
So so Miranda started off with Dachshund, then Great Dane, Doberman, Australian Shepherd, Stafford Terrier, or Staffy, as you said. Lori had Golden Retriever, Pug, Boxer, Saint Bernard, and Border Collie.
That's pretty strong.
That's like the American dreamboat right there. Like a little mixing pot, but like, great breeds all the way down. Myself went French Bulldog, German Shepherd, Husky, Corgi, Weimaraner. Doesn't sound as good when you go down the list. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Lori's, but it's still, I like my list. It's very solid. Sean, Labrador Retriever, English Bulldog, Pitbull, Rottweiler, German Short-Haired Pointer.
Yep.
There you go.
I made the last one long. Just
You
to say
did,
the whole
yeah.
thing,
Just
so.
keep
Yes.
typing.
For sure.
But
So-
yeah,
Just keep typing.
Yep. So,
yeah.
As always, you guys will determine the winner of so check it out on Facebook. I'll actually post
Obviously
pictures
me.
up.
And yeah, we have to post the previous one as well, to get the public opinion. Like that's the whole
Just
reason we do these
preliminary
things.
is looking good for me, so I'm just like, we'll just assume.
Yeah.
You and I'm
Small focus group. All right.
Nobody took
All right.
Dalmatian. Kinda
So
shocked at it.
I wanted
You
to
know.
say this is
Well, nobody said Dalmatian because, no offense to Dalmatian owners out there, but they're
They're not.
assholes.
Yeah, they're not
They're
good
terrible
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
kind of dicks, but like I love a good dog. They're cute.
The
Yeah,
problem
they're
is
adorable. They're great in firehouses because there's
inbred.
always people that have to be awake and annoy people.
Yeah.
Like they are just nonstop energy, and they're actually kind of a meaner breed.
They're
So-
they're very inbred. Like
Yeah.
that's the only way you can keep them like with the spots and stuff. So like it's just like they just tend to be very dumb. Like they're just not easily trained dogs, but they are pretty. I'll give you that.
They are. I like when they don't have spots and then they get their spots. And they're
Yeah.
really cute.
I mean, some people are into that.
then
like,
they can
very
finally be in a
pretty and, like,
movie.
no brain, but
Yeah.
If I only had a brain.
if I only had a
Right?
brain, for sure.
Those are vibes.
All right, so this is rival like right up there with longest interview of all time. Just
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
This could be its own lone.
It might end up
It
being.
might
I
just-
mean, we'll
yeah,
see.
I
I
mean-
mean, depending on how long we talk, like we're gonna record tomorrow, obviously,
Apparent, yeah.
because like
Me
there's no
too
way
now,
I have
yeah.
several stuff to talk
I'm like,
about.
I have to go into work tomorrow.
I know,
so-
unfortunately. So, but
Damn it.
this has been awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks for anytime. Thanks for having us.
And then obviously, when you guys win again, we'll have you guys come back on because it's just easy, and you guys are very easy interviews.
Yeah, yeah, we got you. We'll pencil you in
Hell yeah.
preemptively. All right.
Hell yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Good luck in Texas, right? Right, that's the
We're in
next one.
Texas,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and good luck. You're teaming up with Mike Hoffman in the Airwolf Invitational.
Oh,
Come
yes.
take it Invitational. So you're representing Team Big Asp. So go kick ass for sure. Take that down. And
Love
Mr. Brandon Thompson's. And can you do me one favor? Just beat the team from Sinner Cornhole. Like the two teams from Sinner. That's all I give a shit about.
Yep.
As long as you guys beat Sinner Cornhole, we're good. And I'll have bragging rights.
Yeah, Matt Hoffman,
That will be
right?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Hoffman, and then the other team is Kingsbury and Ellis. So you four are representing the squad, and then so sweet.
They'll be fun times.
but
Wish
yeah.
I was there.
Hope you guys enjoyed the interview. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but four baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.